everybody, and welcome back to Crime in Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you so much for joining us today on another absolutely wild, crazy, outstanding episode of Crime in Sports. We are very excited to get into part two of Billy Martin. When we left off, he was just joining the Yankees, so now he really gets to be crazy. It's hard to be crazy when you're, when you're poor and playing for some minor league team, but put a World Series ring on somebody's finger. They can act insane and no one cares. It's awesome.
And the biggest fishbowl in the world.
Oh, fuck yeah, it's awesome. So we'll get into all that and more. First of all, though, shutupandgivememurder.com. Head over there right now for your merchandise. First of all, tons of merchandise up. New stuff all the time. Check that out. We have to announce there's hats now.
Hey!
We harassed Threadless for probably 7 years about hats, literally constantly. And they've given in, Threadless. They tried, they said they were trying, They finally have hats. We're very excited. So get in there and you can get all, great job, Threadless. Thank you so much for doing that. We're jacked about that. And get your tickets for live shows for Small Town Murder. Get your tickets for Seattle on October the 18th.
Oh, yeah.
Be there, and also get your tickets for the Small Town Murder virtual live show.
Ooh.
Can't wait for that. It is the Thursday right before Halloween. You can buy it. You can watch it anytime in the 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to watch it, and you watch it 100 times. You can do whatever you want with it from the comfort of your own home, just like a regular live show. We have costumes. We're going to be idiots. It's going to be so much fun. Get your tickets right now. Shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get all of those. Also, get yourself some Patreon. Patreon.com/crimeinsports, just like the name of this show. That's where you get all your bonus material.
There it is.
You're going to get immediately upon subscription. Anybody $5 a month or above, you're going to get immediately hundreds of back episodes of bonus stuff you've never heard before. New ones every other week. One Crime in Sports, one Small Town Murder. Then you also get everything ad-free.
What?
We're talking Crime in Sports, Small Town Murder, and Your Stupid Opinions. All the regular episodes ad-free with your Patreon subscription. And if that's not enough, we'll still give you that shout out at the end of the show too.
Terrific.
It's all we can do for you. I'm telling you right now.
We got.
Patreon.com/crimeinsports. I'll also maybe give you my grandmother's sauce recipe, and we'll throw that in for free. How's that? Something. Whatever you want, we'll give to you. Just sign up for Patreon. So do that. Keep hanging out with us. That said, damn it, Billy Martin, let's go. What do you got for us today? All right. When we left off, Billy had just joined the New York Yankees.
Yep.
In spring training in Phoenix at the time. This is before the Yankees trained in Florida. And we will talk about Billy making an immediate impact socially on the team.
Oh, terrific.
Billy is a social butterfly. He loves to hang out with the guys. He idolizes Micky Mantle and loves him. And him and Micky Mantle and Whitey Ford kind of form this trio of people that will just menace New York City for the next 15 years. It's crazy.
I love it.
All the bars and everything else. So here we go. Yogi Berra will start out with a quote from Yogi Berra here. And he's very good friends with Billy Martin, and this is when it all started. So they're in spring training in Phoenix, and Yogi said, "I remember that we had a curfew, and we were supposed to stay away from the dog track in Phoenix." Dog track was a big deal in Phoenix for a long time.
Yeah. That's where we used to go for the park and swap too when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
The old swap meet at the dog track.
So I know this. I know the dog track swap meet very well, my friend. I know all about that.
It was fun.
Oh yeah. So the dog track. I used to know this guy. I lived in this condo downtown by the ballpark, and there was this neighbor of mine, and he was this weird old guy who had a little wiener dog he took everywhere, and he went to the dog track every single day.
Really?
Every single day. Every day he'd come home.
For commerce, not just for a walk?
Just to go to the dog track. He loved it so much, and he was really weird, and he was trying to, fuck me, and it was strange.
I believe it.
I figured after a while, I was like, this guy's trying to fuck me. This is weird. I was
he wants to taste it.
I think he does. I was 19, and he was 60. He was real weird, and I was like, I'm not talking to this guy anymore.
Pretty sure he's trying to taste this.
Yeah, real creepy dude. So that's my thought of the Phoenix dog track. Is the only person I know that goes there is this creepy guy who wanted to fuck me when he was 60 and I was 19.
I mean,
creepy.
It's not a pedophile, right?
No, I guess not. It's all good. So
perfectly legal,
perfectly normal, perfectly healthy, very normal. So Yogi said, so the first few nights we were good and stayed in, but it was boring. By the fourth night, Billy and I just decided to go to the dog track. We're just going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yogi goes on to say, I said, what if the old man finds out? And Billy said, Case, he won't care. I mean, Casey Stengel. Case, he won't care. He's probably there right now himself. So we went to the dog track that night, and almost every night after that, they just turned into dog track regulars.
It's just going to be regulars, yeah.
Yeah. He said there was a popular bar at the dog track, and basically the young Yankee players like to hang out there because even though no one knew who the hell they were yet, any of these people, Micky Mantle, Billy Martin, they didn't mean anything to anybody. They were like big celebrities at the dog track bar.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're doing something here. So
Micky Mantle was a popular guy at the dog track, huh?
Oh, fuck yeah. Everybody likes Micky Mantle. Yeah. Mickey's a guy who's very good socially. That's just how he is. He's a party guy. He talks to people. He's very social. And so, there's another guy here who was Billy's roommate, and Thrift is his last name. And he said, Billy had a gleaming smile and a twinkle in his eye. Women loved that look he would give them. It was a look that said, hey, we're having fun over here. Why don't you come join us? And most of the time they did.
Yeah.
Charming little bastard. He said, but he was all business once the baseball part started the next day. And the thing I remember most about that camp was that he was cocky from the moment he walked into the clubhouse. He was telling everyone how he was going to take Jerry Coleman's starting job.
Oh.
That's not going to make you popular, by the way, saying
It's
shit
balls.
like that,
Yeah.
especially with a rookie. This rookie, Coleman was the rookie of the year the previous year. The guy whose job he wants to take was just coming off his Rookie of the Year campaign. So that's interesting. Later on, Thrift said, quote, in the 70s, I reminded him of how brash and boastful he was when we were roomies back then. And you know what he said to me? He said, Sid, I was scared shitless. I just wasn't going to show it.
Yeah.
So Billy's scared shitless, but it sure as fuck doesn't show.
Yeah.
So he comes up, scared shitless, right away. They, people in spring training, there's not a ton to talk about.
No.
So new guys coming up is what the reporters would talk about, because what are you going to talk about? Here comes this guy from last year. He still looks the same. There's not a lot to really go over there. So you try to, you make like legends out of these spring training guys. It happens all the time. So they said that they were, interested in Billy Martin, but they were calling him Alfred. Because that's what he's listed as his name.
Yeah.
He's listed as his name. So the one guy, Milton Gross, who was a writer from the New York Post, said, the new kid from the coast wanted us to know something. The name is Billy Martin, he said, and don't you forget it. Okay. Call me Alfred, motherfucker. Yeah. Doesn't want to be called Alfred at all. So he is trying to take a starting second baseman job from a Rookie of the Year. Okay. So Billy... He said, this is Jerry Coleman, the second baseman whose job he's trying to take, said, quote, it could be an intimidating environment. He said, it was an atmosphere of high achievers, and Casey Stengel ran a tight ship between the lines. Off the field, it was different, but when Casey was on the field, he was all work and no play. And he said that Billy noticed that. Everybody said Billy noticed that immediately, that you can be a goofball off the field, but on the field you have to play crazy. He got that from Casey, basically.
Sure.
He said that, he noticed that right away. I'll read from the book here. He said, the clowning jester who had entertained fans from the third base box at Oaks Park was stern at Miller Huggins Field. So Casey's goofy when he wants to be, but when it's business, it's business. He said, he was no longer a baseball lifer having a good time. He was a bona fide baseball genius, having won with the New York Yankees, having won with the Yankees the Major League Manager of the Year award in 1949. So, that's how he goes here. Billy kept his place. They said he accepted jersey number 12 for a while because there was a veteran named George Sternweiss who had number 1. Yeah. Billy's always number 1. Even when he's a manager, when he shows up, whoever's got number 1, you don't have it anymore. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm Billy Martin. I'm taking my fucking number from you. Yeah. So, that's kind of how it was there. Rizzuto, apparently, Phil Rizzuto, if you don't know who he is, If you grew up in New York, you know Phil Rizzuto because he called Yankees games for years, and he did a million commercials on TV for the money store. Hey, come to the money store. Hey, the money store would be a big thing. You come on down here, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it was Phil in front of some storefront talking about the money store.
A local lore, every place has one. That guy that you know his name and you know what he looks like, but only your fucking place knows. Earnhardt in Arizona is theirs.
Yeah, well, Rizzuto's not really that because he's a Hall of Fame baseball player.
Oh, he also played baseball.
He's literally a Hall of Famer. Yeah, he won all the titles.
Yeah.
And then he was the Yankees announcer for 40 years. So he's on TV every day doing the announcing. So he's being the Hall of Famer is very famous. So he did a bunch of local commercials, and the one I remember
guess that's
was
the
money star.
If Al McCoy was a great point guard.
Exactly. That's what it would be. So he did all those, and he's got his calls are legendary too. The Roger Maris call, all of them. It's my childhood voice. I have two voices announcing everything for my childhood, and it's Gorilla Monsoon and fucking Phil Rizzuto. Those are the two voices in my head when anything happens. Holy cow! It pops right into your fucking head.
Yeah.
And he was a terrible announcer too, but so entertaining. There'd be a long foul ball, and he'd off the bat, he'd go, "Oh my God, look at that, man! He crushed that! Oh my goodness!" And it's fucking 300 feet foul, and you're like, "What are you talking about, Phil?"
And foul ball.
What the
That's
fuck?
That's 0-1.
He'd get so excited, so you'd be like, "Oh shit!" And you'd be like, "What's a foul ball, Phil? What are you talking about?" It was fucking interesting. So Rizzuto was a big star on the team at this point, though. I mean, huge fucking star. And Phil says about Billy, quote, "You know how Billy gets that look when he's frustrated? He had that look all day when he first got there. I remember thinking, quote, holy cow, this kid's going to explode. Something's bothering him. He even says holy cow in conversation. That's the greatest thing.
Holy cow.
That's so fun. Normally an announcer will have his shtick that he does, but that's not like his door. That's just how Phil talks. I don't think.
Did he make up holy cow?
No, I mean, holy cow.
He just made it popular?
Holy cow, he is famous for that. Even the Seinfeld episode with the Phil Rizzuto keychain.
Yeah.
And it was buried. Remember, it got in that pothole, and every time you'd run it over, it's like, holy cow, holy cow. Every time a car would drive by.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fucking funny. So Phil Rizzuto, very famous and hilarious guy. And I'm going to think about it, he's not bright enough to have a shtick, so that's Phil. It's just how he is. So Phil said, I could always see when something was getting under his skin, and that's a good thing to know when you're around him. Yeah, because he'll punch you. Don't piss him off. At the spring training in 1950, Billy was pissed off because everybody was heaping all this praise on Jerry Coleman, the guy ahead of him, guy whose job he's trying to take. So, he was annoyed by that. Frank Crissetti, who, by the way, there's a lot of good Frank Crissetti stories in Ball 4 from Jim Bouton.
Really?
Because, he's just a fucking weird character, this Frank Crissetti. Real cheap asshole.
I love that.
Yeah, a real weird guy. So they say Crissetti, who played his entire 17-year career for the Yankees, was schooling the middle infielders on the fine art of playing shortstop and second base. On the fifth day of Crissetti trying to get Billy to emulate Coleman, do it like him, Billy said, bullshit. We was done. Billy's
my way.
He said, quote, that's not how I learned to turn the double play. God damn it. He said, I don't care. So he said, Rizzuto said, no one ever talked back to the Crow. I was shocked. But before anyone could say anything else, Billy took a baseball from Crissetti and demonstrated his way of turning the double play. Crissetti disagreed and told Billy why. Billy countered with the whys and hows taught to him previously.
Yeah.
So they were like, what the fuck? So they debated for a while, and Rizzuto said the Crow saw that Billy had thought about this and practiced it. He wasn't just starting an argument. He wasn't just being lazy of, I don't want to do it different.
Yeah.
This was the way he thought was better.
This is how I do it.
Yeah, and it was a very practiced way. He said the old Crow did not agree, but he let Billy be. And meanwhile, Stengel was in the outfield listening. He always saw everything, but he never said a word. We just moved on, and Billy kept doing it his way.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Now, the Yankees' third baseman, Bobby Brown, was attending medical school in the offseason. You don't see that very often nowadays. How many all-star players are attending medical school in the offseason?
It is his prerogative.
Wow. That is fucking amazing. He said he recalled the conversation and said it was a baseball theory squabble. Oh. He said, we hadn't seen that before, but we were learning a lot of things about Billy that first year. Normally, it's just if the coach tells you to do it that way, you just do it that way to shut him the fuck up, and that's that. Who cares? Yeah. But Billy was like, I have a philosophy myself, and I'm not going to change. It's
also, I've done it this way, and I've made it to the majors. Let me cook, babe.
Yeah, let me do my fucking thing. But, I mean, there's a lot of that. I mean, some guys, they get to the majors, they change them positions or anything else. But still, this is something he really thought about. He thought this is a more efficient way, and maybe for him it is. So Brown, who later on became a cardiologist, okay, and the American League president later on, said, this is a successful guy, it looks like, man. Shit. Jesus Christ. He said it was hard not to like and help Billy. He had an aggressive personality, and at first, I think some guys were put off by him, but in time we saw that he was just so determined to get better. People wondered what made him tick. So, he's a pain in the ass, and he's real on top of everything, but he really wants to be a great player, so that they have to kind of appreciate that.
And he's kind of an enigma. Does it on his own, does it his way.
Yeah, and Phil Rizzuto said the weirdest thing is that Joe DiMaggio loved him. Just as we talked about last time, I said, hey, Dago, where are we going to dinner? I mean, they're both West Coast Guineas, I guess, and it's something. Yeah. But Phil Rizzuto said, Joe loved hanging around with Billy. It was the most weird thing. Here was Joe, all reserved, quiet, and perfectly groomed, and Billy, who was loud and noisy. And Brown, the cardiologist, said, I think DiMaggio was intrigued by Billy, like Casey was. A lot of us were. Who is this little weirdo? So... they said that Martin would defy Yankees coaches a whole bunch of the times, but he would win over his teammates because he wanted to learn and win. He just had specific ideas of how to do things. They thought they liked that. You know what I mean? They thought that was a cool deal. So here is a newspaper article from the Berkeley Gazette from February 21st, 1950. Okay. He said, quote, here's a tale that illustrates the fierce loyalty of Billy Martin, young Berkeley second baseman who moved up to the New York Yankees this spring. Late last season, a certain big league club became quite interested in Martin. At that time, Brick Laws had a $100,000 price tag on the kid. Before the club could take such a chance on the youngster, it decided to scout him thoroughly. A representative even poked into Billy's private life. The club didn't like the gang with whom Billy ran around, and Laws was asked to caution Martin. Against his better judgment, Brick told Billy the wishes of the prospective purchaser in his office one morning, and Billy said, if it means I have to give up my friends, I quit baseball.
Yeah.
That's it. So this guy said he placed an arm around Billy and said, I'm sorry I ever brought up the matter. So somebody was going to pay him a lot of money if he would say he'd be a good boy.
Sure.
And he's like, I'm not saying I'm going to be a good boy. Fuck you. Yeah. Not doing it. So in his autobiography, he wrote that Yankee Stadium, seeing it for the first time from the train that took the team from Florida back to New York.
Yeah.
He said he'd seen the stadium on TV at a West Berkeley barbershop.
Yeah.
Because this is before people had TVs in their houses, everybody. Yeah. So he said he saw it there. He said he never had a TV, so he listened to many Yankees World Series games on the radio. He said, but actually going there was a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
He said, I stood there for the longest while, staring into the grandstand and the bleachers and the dugouts, noticing how beautifully the grass was cut. That's just different than a minor league park, too. They take so much better care of the field. That's what all the guys noticed at first. Wow, look at how perfect the grass is. Holy shit. The balls are bright white and the grass is cut perfectly.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Then he made his way to the dugout, and he was thinking, this is the same dugout where Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth hung out.
That's the stuff. That's fucking the stuff
cool.
I always think about whenever we're places and we play things that are like cool. And I can't believe Marilyn Manson and his dad shit in a litter box right here.
Yeah, that's a weird story that we heard, man. You have no idea. When you play theaters, you hear the craziest fucking stories. Because like a 1,500-seat theater, everybody, all these big giant acts have all played it on the way up or on the way down. Mm-hmm. So you get to hear all the weirdness of everybody who's ever been there. It's awesome. Amazing.
It's the best places to play.
We always ask one question when we walk into a theater. What's the question?
They always want to tell you all the the cool stories, the happy stuff.
What do we want to know?
We always go, who's the biggest asshole? Who's the worst?
Who's the biggest asshole who is ever
Who's the one
here?
you don't want to come back?
The weird part is every single theater has the same two answers.
The same stories.
They all say this guy or this guy. They must be huge dickheads.
Have to be.
Well, fuck it. We might as well just. I don't even care.
Don't say it.
Fuck them. Oh, fuck for the theater people? You mean? I don't give a fuck about those people.
No, I just don't want to listen to people bitch and moan at us. It's not. I didn't say it.
That's what I mean. We're just relaying what other people have told us. We don't know. We don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It's the same two people every fucking time.
They always say it.
When you hear it 20 times from 20 different people in 20 different cities, you start to go, this has to be true. Like,
where there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Dude, 20 times?
It's a lot of smoke.
Yeah. 25. There's a reason why we all believe the Bill Cosby stories, because there's 50 of them. There's a reason for that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. But
tend to start believing it. I don't know. I don't know.
The same too, and they're both comedians, so that's what's funny. With all the rock acts and everything else, rappers, anything.
It's always comedians.
Same
it's
two
always
guys.
Ungrateful, very famous dickheads.
Yep. Fucking unbelievable. So we won't get into it. Anyway, 1950 New York Yankees coming off the World Series. They go 98-56-1 because that's a curfew deal there that they never replayed. They finish first in the American League because this is when there's no divisions. It's just American and National League. Whoever won each league played in the World Series.
Play in the World Series,
That's it. They sweep the Phillies 4-0 in the World Series.
Oh, that's good.
This is the Yankee dynasty of this time. I mean, they're passing the baton from DiMaggio to Mantle, for Christ's sake. It's not
pretty nice.
Not a big drop off here. They're not even first in attendance in the league, so they're doing great. Hank Bauer, Yogi Berra, cardiologist Dr. Bobby Brown, Lou Burdett, Jerry Coleman, Joe DiMaggio, Whitey Ford, Tommy Heinrich. These are like Ralph Houck, who coached the Yankees later, to fucking Eddie Lopat. These are Billy Martin, Johnny Mize. Wow. This is a crazy lineup. Phil Rizzuto, Vic Raschi. This is so many people. Anyway, he likes hanging out with DiMaggio. And the acclamation to New York and everything else, if you have Joe DiMaggio as your guide,
it's pretty sweet. Yeah.
He's the king of fucking New York. I mean, they had a song about him and everything. And especially, oh my God, to this day, if you're an Italian athlete in New York, it's a whole different thing. It's like being Fernando Valenzuela in L.A.
Yeah.
The Mexican people love you. And it's the same thing in New York, man. Look at Tommy DeVito, the backup quarterback for the Giants. He's
terrible.
Doesn't
and they
matter.
Love him. And they love
He's
him.
one of us, because how many of us is there? You know what I mean? In the professional athlete, especially as a quarterback for our fucking team, it doesn't happen. So it's amazing. So and back then it was even more because you had all the immigrants coming in, and it was people like my grandmother who just got here. There was a huge Italian culture.
Yeah, it helps that he's also one of the best in the fucking world.
He's fucking Joe DiMaggio.
In the history,
Yeah. So you add all of that, and he's fucking everything.
Banging Marilyn Monroe.
That's later. No one knows who Marilyn Monroe is yet. But
he's still fucking great. He did everything amazing.
He did everything. So, I mean, Joe DiMaggio's the coolest guy in the world. So, basically, having him bring you around is like later on if Micky Mantle brings you around. You're golden. You're set.
That's your shit,
So they said that DiMaggio would squire Billy Martin around Manhattan, showing him basically what to do if you're because DiMaggio's a celebrity. I mean, he's going around hanging out with movie stars and shit. I mean, he's a big celebrity. So he brought Billy to the best tailors. This is where you get your clothes made. This is where you go to eat. Introduce him to all the restaurant people. If he comes in, this is my friend. You take care of him, all that kind of shit. So, I mean, forget about it. It's just Billy gets to be king of New York by osmosis. Not to mention, also, DiMaggio introduced Billy to all the women who were around him, which was
here we go.
Joe D had a harem of women around him at all times. I mean, he fucking married Marilyn Monroe, for Christ's sake.
Wild.
The ladies like Joe. So
and then he divorced her.
Yeah. No, she was fucking everybody.
Doesn't matter, but
fucking her next husband.
So was he.
Yeah. No, so was he. Yeah. But I mean, good God, I'm supposed to be able to do this. This is what I'm an athlete, for Christ's sake.
Such a big deal that he can cast off Marilyn Monroe.
That is wild. That is fucking funny. They both liked blondes, by the way. Yogi Berra said about DiMaggio and Mickey and Billy, they were the original odd couple. Behind their backs, we called them the Big Dago and the Little Dago.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Billy was a little bit, he's a crazy guy. It's one of those things. Sure. DiMaggio taught him how to, he housebroke him a little bit, taught him how to act in public, what suit to put on. But other than that, he's still Billy Martin.
Sure.
There is one story from 1950 where DiMaggio arrives in the clubhouse before a game, and he's in a light gray suit and a nicely pressed white shirt. And that's how DiMaggio rolled.
Love it.
And Billy ran over to greet him holding a fountain pen and a baseball and said could you autograph this for me for someone back in California? But as he thrust the pen at Joe, apparently it exploded and the ink squirted all over DiMaggio's suit and white shirt. So everybody in the clubhouse went silent because it's like you don't must Joe. Like, hey, if you ever watched DiMaggio play, watch the old footage. The way he did things, he never looked like he was doing it hard. It always looked like he was just smooth. Even when he was at full speed, it looked like he was just casually doing it.
Casual,
the way his body worked, and so. For anything to be all over him, people were like, "Oh shit, Joe's gonna freak. What's going on? What's he doing here?" Everybody went silent. Billy waited a bit and then said, I fucked around. Here, watch. And the ink disappeared.
Oh, it's disappearing ink.
It's disappearing ink. I did this on purpose. He said, Rizzuto said, I still thought Joe might slug him. Joe was steamed. Billy kept saying, it'll disappear, Joe. Really, it will. But it was a tense few minutes until it did, he said. So everybody was like, oh, shit. Then 10 minutes later, Joe was joking around with Billy again. Billy just had a way with Joe. No one else on the team would have dreamed of pulling any kind of prank on Joe, especially not in their rookie year.
No.
So he makes his major league debut on April 18th, 1950, which is opening day for the Yankees as they visit the Boston Red Sox at Fenway. That's a very late opening day.
Yeah.
It's very late. There was less games back then, too, so that makes sense, actually. It was 154 back then, so 8 less games.
Oh, wow.
Maybe that's 10. Yeah, that makes sense, 10 days later. So this is at Fenway, and before the game, they asked him what he thought of Fenway Park, which has so much history.
Right.
And Billy said, it's a ballpark, and if it's a ballpark, I can hit in it.
All right.
They said, what about that big wall in left field? And he said, it's pretty close. Looks like I could hit it right over
high
it.
Enough at that point. Who gives a shit? Yeah.
Looking pretty good here. So he's inserted as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning with the Yankees down 5-4 and 2 men on base. And he hit a double off the Green Monster to drive in both men.
How about that?
That's a big deal. The Yankees end up batting around that inning.
The whole cycle.
And he gets a second at-bat of the inning.
Wow.
He comes up with the bases loaded and singles to drive in 2 more runs.
4 RBIs.
So 4 RBIs in one in his first inning in Major League Baseball.
Wow.
Pretty awesome. So that's pretty cool. But he's not made an everyday player because there's the Rookie of the Year is playing in front of him. But it's actually the first time in Major League history that a player got 2 hits in an inning in his debut game.
Is that right?
No one's ever had 2 hits in an inning in their first game ever. Never.
Up till then or since ever?
It was the first time. I'm not sure if it's happened since.
It may have by now, but that's pretty cool.
That's not bad, yeah. It took 75 years for it to happen.
Yeah.
It's been 75 years, so it might happen again. And but he would basically stay in the dugout and sit next to Casey Stengel and learn everything Casey Stengel was doing, asking questions. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Soaking in the managerial info.
Yeah, sure.
So he didn't play for another 2 weeks. And later on in life, years later, he said, I guess if I had gotten 3 hits, I would have sat for 3 weeks. I got 2 hits and he sat me for 2 weeks. But he just hung out with Casey and just sat there and that's it.
Learned.
Jerry Coleman said, and when Billy did get on the field in 1950, he sure made sure people heard him. Phil Rizzuto was kind of a quiet guy out there. So was Bobby Brown. Joe Collins didn't talk much at first. Billy took charge, yelling commands, encouraging everyone. And Brown said, in that voice of his, I'm sure they heard him 15 rows into the stands.
He's loud, huh?
He's a loud little fucker. Yeah, absolutely is. So he became an immediate favorite of the Yankee Stadium crowd.
Yeah.
He's a tough little son of a bitch. And they love that. Nothing the Yankees fans love more than a balls out. The New York fans in general, the Lenny Dykstra type will dive into a wall. They love that. That'll get you lifetime loyalty. And Billy Martin, much to the chagrin of George Steinbrenner in later years, always had the New York Yankees fan base on his side, no matter what. Just didn't matter. When George would fire him, they would all boo George. They hated him. Fuck you. They'd bring fucking signs, bring Billy back. He hated it. He couldn't.
Wow.
No matter what Billy did, it didn't matter. They still liked him better.
Was Billy the starting of them being able to turn on Steinbrenner? Because he was so beloved just for owning them, wasn't he?
No, he was hated from the moment he took over.
Oh, really?
Nobody ever liked George Steinbrenner until the later years. When he made himself part of the Yankee mystique, basically.
Oh.
But the fans growing up,
how did he do that?
Everyone hated George Steinbrenner.
How did he make himself?
By having a network called the Yes Network that played constant documentaries and shit about what a wonderful person he is. Propaganda works, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
George Steinbrenner's an awful piece of shit. Yeah. He was. But he cared about winning. Yeah. And that's the other reason the fans liked George a little bit, was because every other owner, if you said, hey, would you rather have a $20 million profit or win the World Series this year?
Oh, God,
they'd go,
every time I'd say the World Series.
I'll be in last place and I'll take the $20 million. Oh, wow. Every owner, because they're all businessmen, whereas George would say, I'll pay even more if I can win the World Series. Yeah. Fuck $20 million. I'll give you another $20 million. I don't care. Winning's important. Yeah. So they like that about him, but he's a pompous guy. He's not a New Yorker. He's from Cleveland. Yeah. So he's some pompous guy who bought the Yankees, who that kind of felt like a public trust to us. Yeah. Like for everybody, for New York, it was New York's team. And he bought it and came in and nobody ever knew the fuck owned the Yankees before. Or if they did, it was some old man sitting up in a booth somewhere. Yeah. It wasn't some guy who was interfering and telling managers how to manage when he has no baseball experience and things like that. Yeah, so that's why they didn't like him. They were telling Billy Martin, a great manager, he was trying to tell him how to manage when he didn't know. He's a shipbuilder from Cleveland. Go build your ships and shut the fuck up. So it's one of those things. Now, Martin was sent to the minor leagues in May of 1950 so he could play every day, basically.
All right.
And he was pissed. Very upset. So he had an outburst with George Weiss, who was the general manager, and he said that feels like he alienated himself from George Weiss for the whole time. Yeah. They told him, Stengel called him into the office and told Billy that they're sending him to Kansas City to the minor leagues.
Uh-oh.
And Stengel said, "Give us a few weeks and we'll sell Sternweiss and bring you back. Like, we have a plan."
Yeah.
So it was the day before Billy's birthday, his 22nd birthday, and he was upset. And they said he just sat there and basically wept in the office. Felt like he did something wrong.
Oh, no.
He was getting pushed away. So Casey was like, "Oh, shit, Jesus Christ." He felt terrible, and he told Casey, "Look, I don't agree with this decision. I'm with you."
Yeah.
He said it's the general manager who makes these decisions, and, he said that's just how it goes. And they also said that Weiss received a bonus annually from the Yankees ownership if he kept the payroll below a certain number. So when you go in to back then there's no agents, so you go in to negotiate your contract, and every dime you get is a dime less this guy's going to get, essentially. So you're not
sure.
It's not a good deal. You're not getting a good deal.
All right.
And the Yankees were notoriously cheap when it came to shit like that. So they said that Casey and Billy talked for a while until finally Casey suggested that if Billy really didn't like the decision that Weiss was making, he should go tell him so. You should go tell Weiss he's being a dickhead. Go tell him.
Get out there, yeah.
Not a great thing to do. Some 21-year-old rookie is going to come up and tell the general manager how to do his job is not great advice.
Tell you how to run this club.
No, yeah, he was like fucking Ziggy in season 2 of The Wire, standing atop several fucking bins there going, "You guys gave me bad advice," after that guy beat him up and threw him up there. Same shit. Not good.
Yeah.
So very, very bad here. Billy didn't need much of a push, though, because he wanted to do that, and he did. He confronted Weiss, and it didn't go well. And Billy said, "You'll be sorry for this." He shouted at him and all this type of shit, and it never got better, their relationship from then on.
No?
Nope. And he did come back after a month, but he had only 39 plate appearances for the Yankees in 1950. So it seems like Casey liked having him around, but really didn't have a place to play him.
Sure.
So Sternweiss was traded to the St. Louis Browns a month after the demotion, and Billy was called up, just like they said, just like Casey said. A week later, he drove in a winning run with a single, but hardly played. He roomed with Rizzuto on the road, which is funny because it's two little middle infield guineas together. But he said that Phil liked to be in bed by 10 at the latest. Phil's not a party guy at all. At the latest.
Jesus.
All of Phil's stories when he was like an announcer were how him and his wife went out to dinner through a Yankee game. It would just be a story of how him and his wife went out to dinner, and there's a game in the background. He's like, I'll tell you what, we took the Bear Mountain Bridge there. I'll tell you, there was a lot of traffic, 2-1 to Mattingly. And, we're going there. We wanted the Scungili. We heard the place is going to pop up, and 2 outs. Bill White coming up next. Anyway, so and he would just go on, just every once in a while, just throw out a ball or a strike call, but he would just tell these stories of just the traffic while going to a restaurant. It was hilarious. Funny fucking guy. So that's kind of how he is. Rizzuto said, we talked baseball until we fell asleep. Then Rizzuto noticed, he said, quote, about Billy, quote, he kept a Bible in his suitcase. And I'm not saying he read it every night, but he did read it. And in the middle of a train or a bus ride somewhere, guys would be carrying on or arguing about something. And out of nowhere, Billy would quote a Bible passage that applied to the argument or whatever.
Oh, my God.
He said guys would stop and look at him like, did Billy just say that? What are you talking about? I saw you punch a guy and stick your hand up a chick's dress last night. What are you talking about? So now the average player's salary around this time is $13,000 a year.
Holy.
Which you can inflate it all you want for inflation. It's still like $150,000 a year. It's still not a baseball player's salary.
Right.
So that is a very much a little amount. Now, your check for winning the World Series, the bonus was $5,700.
Oh.
So for a lot of these guys, it was more than half their salary for winning the World Series. So they really, really wanted to win. Like, there was a lot of motivation to win here. So if the Yankees didn't make a throw to the right base or, it cost them a run at the end, even some game in July, they would get on each other. You're fucking this up. We have to be in first place to go to the World Series, They said when a young Yogi Berra didn't run out a pop-up and it fell for a single when it could have been a double if he was running hard.
Right.
And then when a subsequent single would have scored Berra with the tying run in a game that became a loss, if he was on second, that single would have scored him and they would have won possibly, but instead they lost. They said Berra was ripped apart in the dugout by his teammates at that point. One of them, Yankee outfielder Charlie Keller, said, don't fuck with our money. All of you, you're fucking with our money now. You fuck up out there.
I got a mortgage.
Yeah. So this wasn't like you fuck up and everybody goes, oh, it's all right. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. We're all making $30 million. Don't sweat it. This was, motherfucker, this, goddamn it. I'm planning on buying a summer house with this fucking money, you dickhead. Don't fuck with me.
I got a college fund to fund.
Jesus Christ. Well, back then, it didn't really cost much to go to college. So.
Right. But still, they don't have any fucking money.
They got no money. So the Yankees were not supposed to publicly complain about playing time because the Yankees are supposed to support whoever was trying to win the game.
Yeah.
If you're on the bench, you're supposed to shut up and stay ready and all that kind of shit here. Any Yankees who arrived late for batting practice or didn't partake in the daily fielding practice, they would get totally fucking shit on, basically.
Sure.
Where were you? All that kind of thing. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You're going to go up there and strike out now. You didn't take batting practice. It's going to be your fault. And then we're going to lose. And you're fucking with my money. And I'm not going to have anything. My wife's going to leave me. And they're going to take my new Cadillac. Go down the line. So Gil McDougall, an infielder, said, in all my time with the Yankees, I never heard one guy say, have fun.
This isn't fun.
No, it was the opposite.
Here for work,
Get serious. We have to win this game. Nobody thought failure was fun. After the game, we had fun. First, you had to win the game.
Yes.
Which makes sense. Now, Billy, he observed all of this and soaked it all up and everything else and realized that the, quote, Yankee way was pretty complex. And he hadn't realized how this all worked. Everything was about winning. Everything was about winning. That's it.
Sure.
Now, that year, Phil Rizzuto had the best year of his career and won the MVP award.
Oh.
He hit .324 with 7 home runs, 66 RBIs, turned 123 double plays, and had only 14 errors in 1,351.2 innings. So, killed it. I mean, nasty little shortstop.
Sure.
Years later, Rizzuto says, years later, the Yankees brass talked about Billy being a bad influence on guys with the club. All I know is the year he roomed with me, I won the MVP. A couple years later, he roomed with Yogi, and Yogi won the MVP. In 56, he was rooming with Mickey, and Mickey won the MVP.
Wow.
Some bad influence. Yeah.
Terrible guy.
So, yeah, he's got these 3 for 3 and roommate MVPs. What are we talking about here? So Billy did not play in the 50 World Series at all, and Coleman was the MVP of the World Series, which he's pissed. Son of a bitch. So either way, he got his bonus, though, so that's nice. This year, Billy only 36 at-bats, 39 plate appearances. He hit .250 with 1 home run and 8 ribbies. So, and 4 of them were in that first game.
Yeah.
Not much after that.
Wow.
October 28th, 1950, here we go. 5 members of the World Championship New York Yankees will appear in the star-studded lineup of Major League All-Stars tomorrow afternoon in the Oakland Pacific Coast League Park against the Minor League All-Stars. Besides 5 active players, Casey Stengel, manager of the World Champions, will be on the coaching line for the Major League All-Stars, along with Dick Bartell, coach of the second-place Tigers. Okay. And also, Billy Martin, who's slated to be married at 4 p.m., will appear in the game for several innings, then hurry under police escort to the church.
He's got a date.
And this is obviously an afternoon game, so he's going to play a few innings, and then they're going to literally
become a groom.
Yeah, he's going to change into a tux on the way there.
Wow.
And go get married, which is interesting. This is 13 days after the World Series. And they said he scurried from the park after the game, quickly grabbing his shit and headed for the car. And that's not usually Billy's style post-game. He usually likes to sit and have some beers and bullshit with the guys. And that's a thing that lasted a long time, that after the game, the guys sit in the clubhouse, have a few beers and bullshit about the game.
Yeah.
That apparently lasted like into the 80s and some of the 90s, and then it kind of, now nobody does it anymore. They're all
gone.
On their computers. They're gone.
Well, they got a what is it? Media. They got to go answer questions first, and then they're fucking gone.
But that's when they used to answer the questions. Well, they answer questions in the clubhouse.
Yeah. Now they got a press conference room.
That too.
And then they get the fuck out of here.
But now they just leave because they got other shit going on. But back then they used to actually hang out. And I know, like, when Rod was on the Giants, he was saying how there was like a crew of guys that would do that. It was like him, Matt Williams, and a couple other guys like that like the kind of old school baseball shit, and everybody else just took off to go to the club and fucking meet chicks and do shit like that. So they said that this was odd because Billy was, obviously had to run out. They said, but he's getting married. 18-year-old Lois Berndt, dressed in a wedding gown at St. Ambrose Church, was waiting for him. He arrived 15 minutes late for his own wedding. And changed into his rented tuxedo. And, there you go. Oh, by the way, he forgot the dress shoes. He didn't know where they were.
Whoops.
So he had to come out. He came out in a tuxedo and spikes.
Hell yeah.
Tuxedo and baseball cleats. Not bad. Years later, Lois called it an omen. She said, it's an omen for the future. But, Billy had all his friends there, and he eventually borrowed a friend's brown dress shoes, even though he's wearing a black tux. The cleats were probably better.
Probably.
So Billy said that he got married because his buddy Howard had married his girlfriend, who was Lois, his fiance's best friend.
Oh, you can't go getting married. You're going to make me get married.
That's what happened. Now she wants to get married. And he also said Lois was, quote, a doll, a real pretty girl.
Oh.
Wow. Billy said, Lois kept telling me how depressed she was with me away from home playing ball and all that same old baloney you always hear. Now, Billy's sister, Pat, said that Billy was not dragged to the altar at all. In fact, she said, as she would do with each of his 4 wives, he's going to have 4.
Wow.
Pat tried to talk him out of the marriage and failed. She said, I tried to tell him not to get married to this girl. She said, I said, Billy, this isn't the right girl. She said, by the way, Pat said she never liked Lois. She said she knew her since they were in junior high together, never liked her.
Never liked her. Not a fan.
Never fucking liked her. Wow, that's funny. The sister Pat said, I said she just wants to get married, but he wouldn't listen. I think he was lonely. He wanted something to hold on to. Bill was like that.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah.
So after the season, the Korean War is going on at this point.
Oh?
Billy is drafted into the Army.
What?
Yeah. You don't think about that now, but that was a lot of guys. I mean, World War II, it was just about everybody, but a lot of guys went to Korea too. A lot.
Wow.
A lot. Guys like Micky Mantle had a terrible knee injury, so he got out of it. But Ted Williams fought in both wars, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, right.
You know? So that's wild. He immediately asked for a discharge by the start of spring training. His first requests for a discharge were denied, but one of his commanding officers, he found one that was a baseball fan.
Oh.
And a former Oaks fan who he used to play for, the Oakland Oaks.
Yeah.
So he was instructed in the various hardship discharges available and how best to get it, basically.
Yeah.
So he got some inside help. Billy told the Army that his stepfather was ill and had recently lost his job, which made Billy the sole means of support for his mother, father, siblings, and his wife. Like, I'm playing for everybody here.
Yeah.
So according to some of Billy's family and friends, the hardship claim was mostly bullshit. The stepfather had voluntarily reduced his workload at Billy's urging, so he could show he's not making money. Billy was subsidizing the household. He would send a check every 2 weeks for $80, but it was by choice so he could come home. So looks like for a while Billy wasn't going to get out of this, but finally in March there came word that his hardship ploy had worked and the paperwork was being processed.
Nice.
So that's good. The Berkeley Gazette ran a story about Billy's hardship, and when he returned to his new wife's house, his new wife's parents' house on a weekend leave, people were pissy with him.
They were upset?
Yes, because many people from the neighborhood had been drafted, and they actually had to go to the war, and he got out of it. So like, now you're fucking special. So they said Billy's hardship discharge, arriving at a time when his able-bodied brothers, his actual brothers, Tudo and Jackie, were still living in the area, did not sit well with people around there. The neighbors didn't like that. They said, now he's a privileged guy. Now he's got all of this. This is crazy. One of the neighbors here said there was some resentment. Some people were cold to Billy. They talked about it behind his back, and he knew it. He was like the most famous guy around. And
sure.
So then he ends up getting out of the Army and heading back to New York, and that was that. So the 1951 New York Yankees, 98-56.
Not bad. They
finish first in the American League and go to the World Series again and win 4-2, 6 games over the Giants in the World Series, the New York Giants at the time.
Yeah.
So Willie Mays versus Micky Mantle, this is.
Awesome.
That's fucking awesome. That is cool as shit. Yeah. Not bad. So now he's discharged from the Army in April. He rejoined the Yankees, but again, not really used very much because Rookie of the Year Gil McDougald is playing most of the time at second base when Coleman's not there. So he's got nothing when it comes to that. But he does make a great friend in Micky Mantle. Him and Mickey will be
lifelong friends.
They're always just fucking together at the hip.
Debaucherous,
And I read about when he was managing in Texas, him and Billy would get together and fucking go golfing every night.
Decisions together,
Terrible decisions together and get hammered. I mean, fucking Mickey was such a drinker. He got a new liver and then drank that one out. Think about that. How many people?
Is he the reason they don't give him now?
Livers? How many people went through 2 livers?
Yeah,
Billy or Mickey. Man, probably not. Bobby Brown, Dr. Bobby Brown said, Billy liked people, and I think it bothered him that Mickey was so uncomfortable. It was not a combination that surprised me. Joe DiMaggio was starting to recede at that point. Billy gravitated to Mickey. Well, also, they were the same age. They're young guys. Joe is an older guy. He's in his mid-30s at this point. It's not the same. Mid-30s guys don't want to have the same partying night as 22-year-old guys. It's different.
That's true, too. Yeah.
Different energy. You know what I mean? So Billy was about to turn 23. Mickey was 19 at the time.
Oh.
Kids. But they acted like frat brothers, they said. They had water pistol fights in the hallways of Yankee Stadium, food fights in the clubhouse, whoopee cushions on the seats in the dining car, the team train. They're like two
just
little
being
kids having
children.
around. Yeah. It was just fun, basically.
Yeah.
They were just having a good time here. Now, early in the season, they acquired a Polaroid. It was brand new, instant camera. So they were like, this is amazing. You get a picture in 30 seconds. You used to have to drop it off, and it would take 2 days and whatever. But they were like, wow, this is great. So Billy and Mickey thought it was really funny to use the camera to take pictures of teammates on the toilet. They thought that was the best use of the camera, to kick in a door and take a picture of a guy while he's shitting, which is what guys do.
Yeah.
I was having a talk with Sarah last night or the other night, and she was like, why do guys do this to each other? Why do they do it? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. It's not even to people they don't like.
No.
They torture people they like.
They'll do it to friends. They'll do it to strangers. They'll do it to
animals.
anybody.
More likely to friends, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're way more likely to do way worse shit to your friends.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I was remarking saying it's honestly the way guys are raised and the way they fuck with each other and the way that like they're kind of just like, walk it off. You're fine. All that shit. It's amazing that we don't all kill our wives. It's amazing that we're that house trained that we can go distances without murdering.
The pet too hard.
Yeah, we're not all Lenny. We're not all just crushing the mouse in our pocket. Like, it's honestly remarkable. I'm surprised. Yeah. So, anyway, the Polaroid camera, they like to take pictures of people shitting. Mm-hmm. Their goal was to catch everyone on the team except DiMaggio and Stengel. Give them some dignity.
We don't need Joey D.
You don't need Joe D shit. You don't need Casey shit. No one wants to see Casey with his pants around his ankles. He's an ugly old man, too.
You seen what Joey D does to the ball with the bat? Forget it.
Yeah, fuck that. So they got everybody except for those two and posted them in the training room when no one was looking. They'd post them up there, so you'd have that, which is fucking funny. Gil McDougald said Mickey and Billy would do all these things and start giggling until they had tears in their eyes. They were really best of friends. Some of the older guys wanted to wring their necks at times, but they were like two little kids. People would just smirk and say, there they go again.
They're just having a good time.
They're just having a good time. That's the thing. And Mickey's like immensely talented, so it's kind of got to let it go at that point. And that's kind of what they were. Bobby Richardson said they brought out the best in each other. They said Billy had a facility with people that Mickey benefited from, and Mickey had a good-natured acceptance of people and situations that softened Billy. So together they were good. Tony Kubek, another player, said, when you were with them, they talked to each other like no one else was even there. They were off in their own world. The bond never wavered.
Nice.
He said there was a lot of mischief, too, after the game. One night in Boston, Mickey and Billy arrived at the team's hotel 15 minutes after curfew, which was midnight.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Now, before they entered, they looked through the revolving door of the hotel and across the lobby and saw Casey telling stories to some writers.
Uh-huh.
So they're like, okay, shit, Casey's here. Right. We can't walk right by him.
Yeah.
So they went around to a back entrance used by the hotel kitchen staff.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just come in there. It was one of their favorite maneuvers, but this time the back door was locked. So like, fuck, what do we do?
Yeah.
We can't get busted. So they see above the door there's a transom.
Uh-huh.
Now, a transom, if you don't know, is that like that little window above like a real old tiny door that can open?
It kind of pops out.
Pops out. That used to be before air conditioning. That was the way that air moved through a house, basically. They'd have those above everything, and it would cruise through. My house still has those. We don't use them. They're painted shut, but the old houses have them still. So Mantle said, quote, Billy said that if I boosted him up, he'd crawl through the transom and open the door for me. So I stood on a garbage can, and he climbed on my shoulders and scooted through the transom. This is Micky Mantle.
Yeah.
Okay. After a minute, I heard him shouting through the door, hey, Mick, this door is chained shut. I can't open it. I'll see you tomorrow. And then he went to our room. Sorry. Bye.
Yeah. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Mickey was wearing a brand new expensive sharkskin suit, so he piled 3 garbage cans on top of each other, which is insane.
Yeah.
Bracing himself with the extension of the fire escape, trying to get through the transom as well, because there's a fire escape thing hanging down. So he's hanging off of that on a swaying tower of garbage cans, trying to climb through a window. Man, he said, quote, I fell a few times and ripped some holes in my new suit. I knocked over the garbage cans and had lettuce hanging off of me and rotten tomatoes stuck to the sleeves. It was a mess, but I eventually got through the transom. Oh, God, he said, when I got...
Destroyed a suit about it.
Just imagine him walking in with holes in it with like lettuce hanging off of him.
Yeah.
It's really sad. He said, when I got to the room, Billy was asleep. He's already out cold. Sleeping the sleep of the innocent, doesn't give a fuck, is hilarious. That's so funny. When we got up the next morning, Billy said, why does this room smell like garbage? Yeah, I wonder why.
It's a suit.
I think the cleaning bill for my suit was almost as much as the curfew fine might have been. It was like, you might as well have just walked in the front door. So now for a while that summer, Lois had come to live with Billy in the Concourse Plaza. But even with the Yankees at home, she was sitting at home a lot. He's working. Baseball takes up a lot of time. The games are 3 fucking hours. I mean, takes up a lot of time. So
it's fucking 2/3 of the year, of the calendar year, of a fiscal year.
That's no shit. Not only that, but it's not like he went right, because I mean these are all day games pretty much back then. A couple night games, but for the most part, you're done with work by 4 o'clock. It's not like then he goes home and she has dinner on the table. Then his night's starting. He's going out with Micky Mantle, for Christ's sake.
Right, carousing. Shit to do.
Fuck yeah, so she'd be home a lot. They would take this book called Lengthy Detours from Yankee Stadium on the way to Concourse Plaza.
Oh, wow.
It's only 4 blocks away, by the way. So she'd be like, why did it take you 9 hours to make it 4 blocks? And he's like, things happen. Yeah. So there's always an adventure on the road. Teammates got used to Mantle and Billy here giggling in hotel rooms at 2 o'clock in the morning in the hallways coming in and shit like that. Stengel considered splitting them up on the road, making them room with other players maybe. That'll help. But he said, quote, Billy said, what good would that do? It would just keep 2 other guys up later. Just making it worse.
You're going to double the impact.
Yeah, we're going to be up. That's going to happen. So you keep it contained as much as possible here.
Just leave it between us. Fuck.
Oh, shit, man. So this year, the Yankees, like I said, again, win the World Series. He played in 1 game in this World Series, had a run, but I think he was a pinch runner because he had no at-bats or plate appearances, so he had to have been a pinch runner. This year, in the regular season, he played 51 games, only had 58 at-bats, hit .259 with 2 RBI. So he hasn't really done anything. He has less than 100 at-bats in his 2 full seasons, which is wild. That's not a lot at all. Now, 1951, after the season, he's now a 2-time World Series champion, even though he never plays.
Still great.
Still got 2 rings. I mean, that's pretty goddamn cool, especially when you're going home to Berkeley for Thanksgiving, which he does.
Certainly, yeah.
That's cool as shit. They said there was an uneasiness in the neighborhood, though. The month-long Battle of Heartbreak Ridge in an area of North Korea known as the Punch Bowl had claimed more than 3,000 lives, many of them from the 1st Cavalry Division, which had a large representation of men from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So that battle hit this area particularly hard. They said not long after, West Berkeley learned of the death of Rube d'Alba's older brother, a leader and popular figure of the area here. Everybody on the street knew him and liked him. The funeral brought together all the West Berkeley boys. Billy was a pallbearer. Many of Billy's old friends were in uniform. His conceived hardship deferral never came up, but it didn't have to. They said it was all in the air. It was hanging. A few weeks later, Rube, Billy, and some friends went out drinking. Some teasing between Rube and Billy led to some more serious taunts and then insults, and then they started punching each other. And Billy won the fight.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Billy wins most of the fights in his younger years.
Billy loves to throw punches,
Loves to hit a drop of a hat. Once he's in his 50s, his record becomes more spotty because now you're a skinny little alcoholic in your 50s. You're not going to fight quite as well. But when he's younger, fuck yeah. They ended up apologizing a few days later.
Mm-hmm.
And his friend said, we stayed friends for life, but we were never the same. That was it. Blame the war, the deferment, or my brother's death. I don't know for sure, but something had changed. So there's that. Now, 1952, the Yankees are 95-59, and they are, give you a guess here, first in the American League.
You bet. Yeah.
They go on to the World Series to play the Brooklyn Dodgers, and this is a legendary 7-game series. Just a great series against all the Dodgers, Jackie Robinson, Roy Campanella. This is Duke Snider. This is, all these guys, Pee Wee Reese, and they win the World Series in 7 games, the Yankees do.
Okay.
So they get their $5,700, which is excellent for them. Now, Coleman ended up getting inducted into the Armed Forces before the 52 season, which led the way for Martin to become the regular second baseman here for the 52 season. So the problem is his debut was delayed when he broke his ankle demonstrating the technique of sliding into second base on a TV show. On a TV show, they had him do it. So it wasn't until May 12th that he made his regular season debut. Okay, May 24th, 1952. This makes a lot of sense. Jimmie Piersall, later on, he's going to have a lot of beef with Jimmie Piersall when Jimmie Piersall gets hired by the Rangers to be basically Tom Hanks in League of Their Own, but not a coach. To be a front office guy that goes around and waves his little hat around, basically.
Sure. Yeah.
So it makes sense now because they have beef here in 1952. So it just lasted 25 years.
Wow.
On May 24th, 52, during Red Sox batting practice before the game, Boston's rookie Jimmie Piersall, who the local papers called a sharp-tongued bench jockey from Connecticut. Oh. Jimmie Piersall had a big thing where he had this hardcore alcoholism, and then he was like the first athlete to publicly go to rehab and all that shit. Mm-hmm. He was like the first athlete to say, I'm an alcoholic and I'm fixing it and all that shit.
I need some help, yeah.
Yes, nobody did that before. So he started taunting the Yankees as they were warming up near the visitors' dugout. The Yankees were still trailing by 2 games in the standings, and Billy told Piersall to shut the fuck up.
Uh-oh.
Shut up, Jimmie, Piersall. So Piersall answered by telling Billy that I only listen to guys who actually play.
Oh.
So then they go back and forth, and then Piersall calls Billy a, quote, Dago Busher. Now, Busher is Bush League.
Okay, got it.
Bush League, you're an amateur. Yeah. So I just said you can't play baseball and then threw an ethnic slur at you.
Yeah.
So how do you think that's going to go over with Billy?
Not great.
Not great, especially from Jimmie Piersall.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. So Billy dropped his glove to the ground and said, "Get up, come meet me under the fucking grandstand where the fucking fans can't see it." That's what it was. So that's what they went under there. Piersall disappeared into the Red Sox dugout, and Billy went into the Yankees dugout, and they both went to their clubhouses. They said at Fenway Park, then and now, the doors to both clubhouses empty directly into a concourse used by fans walking to their seats.
Oh.
That's how it works. It's a concrete common area behind home plate that Billy and Piersall met at and immediately started throwing punches.
Wow.
Several players from both teams went to watch. No one thought we should break this up. I mean, back then, they're fighting. Let them fight.
Not stopping anything.
Billy landed 2 right hands to Piersall's face and knocked him down. Piersall got up, and Billy hit him again, and then they started wrestling, and Billy was throwing more punches. Billy's cheek got cut in this melee, but apparently Piersall came out of it stunad, a little fucking...
Sure, yeah.
Walking crooked and bleeding from his nose and mouth onto his ripped jersey.
Uh-huh.
This is when a Yankees coach, Bill Dickey, and a Boston pitcher stepped in and separated them. And Billy screamed, quote, "What do you think now, Big Shot?" Fucking hilarious. Big Shot. That just makes it so funny. The word filters back to the Yankees management and stuff, and they figured, Casey Stengel might be mad at this. They said Stengel just grinned his fucking ass off, thought it was great.
It's my best player.
And said, quote, "It should wake up the other Tigers. It's about time they realize they got to fight harder this year. I just hope that some of the kids' fire spreads to some of the others." Wasn't mad at him at all. Good.
Yeah.
Pearsall would eventually be hospitalized from alcoholism and a mental disorder, too. I believe there was another part of it, too. He had some kind of, he went in and said, "I'm an alcoholic and I have depression," which was nothing guys did back then. Uh-huh. Billy later on said he felt bad because he said he was probably going through something. And so he said he felt bad for beating the shit out of him.
I feel bad for beating up a depressed guy that has a depressed addict, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, because, Billy's probably the same thing, too.
Yeah.
Billy said, I didn't know he was sick like that. Maybe we deserve each other. Sometimes I think I'm ready for the guys with the white coats myself. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they eventually became friends. When Pietragallo was out of baseball in the mid-1970s, Billy got him a job in the front office with the Oakland A's. Later, when Billy was managing Texas, he arranged for Pietragallo to become the team broadcaster. Pietragallo parlayed that into a long-term job with an announcer for the White Sox. Pietragallo said in 1980, I love Billy Martin. He helped me when I was down. Yeah. And he said about the fight in 52, it was just one of those things that happened in baseball back then. Neither of us held a grudge. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, when he was with the Rangers, he didn't have the beef with Billy Pietragallo. Jimmie Pietragallo. Jimmie Pietragallo had a beef with reporters.
Oh.
And threatened to, like, beat them up and shit, and there was a big melee over that. That's what it was. Funny thing, when he walked in, I believe he was the guy, he walked into a fucking event, and it was an event for some beer, whatever fucking beer it was at the time, Lone Star or some horseshit beer. Yeah. And they were the ones like sponsoring this team event. And they went in there and said, hey, Jimmie, here you go. Have one of these. And he slapped it out of the guy's hand and said, I don't drink that I don't drink that piss, and kept walking. And they were all Schaefer. It was Schaefer. So they were all like, what the fuck, man? But he doesn't drink. That's why. But he, instead of saying, I don't drink, he said, I don't drink that piss, and slapped it out of the guy's hand.
I don't drink. I don't drink that.
I don't drink that. That's what it sounds like. I don't drink your horse shit. Yeah. So we'll go from the book here. They say rough play was customary and expected. In June 1952, the New York Times published accounts of 8 fights during Major League Baseball games. That was in 1 month.
Wow.
So, yeah, all of this later, people got crazy, and it used to be so. Yeah. No, guys used to fight and spike each other. They were terrible to each other. Always were. Yeah. The media didn't give a shit back then, and then they did later on. Many of the ball players in 52, this was a different type of ball player, too.
Yeah.
These guys were guys that. Most of them were World War II veterans, for Christ's sake. All the veteran guys, they literally fought in a fucking war a few years ago. They came up on like farms, and these are like calloused handed people. These aren't, I played AAU ball since I was 5, and my dad drove me to all the tournaments and all that shit. It's none of that bullshit. So these guys are hard. They said so whether they weren't afraid to fight with enemies or friends or anything else in a bar room, wherever. They were into it. In his autobiography, Billy matter-of-factly describes 2 scenes from the 1950s that can kind of show a bigger picture of the ball player's life at that time. In the first story, 5 Yankees started conversing in the team's hotel lobby with 5 women who had just left a hotel function. A minute later, 5 guys arrived who had been the women's dates for the nights, and they were pissed off that the Yankees appeared to be trying to steal their dates.
Uh-huh.
Probably successfully, too.
It's gonna work.
Show them all your rings, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the guys wanted to fight the Yankees. So Billy, Micky Mantle, and Charlie Silvera were part of this group, and so is Hank Bauer, who's a fucking humongous guy. Hank Bauer is enormous, and he's had 2 Purple Hearts as an ex-Marine in World War II. And he's a fucking giant man, too. Yeah. Like, you don't fuck with Hank Bauer, pretty much. Yeah, nobody does. Yeah. Billy ain't fucking with Hank Bauer. No. Like, nobody's fucking with Hank Bauer. So this guy's standing there, and also is Ralph Houck, who's the future manager, but now is a backup catcher, who was also an Army major who had a Silver Star and a Bronze Star for his bravery at the Battle of the Bulge, for Christ's sake. God. These are not, trifling guys. So... Wow, Bauer and Houck calmly went about discussing who was going to take on the guy who wanted to fight. Should I kick his ass or are you going to kick his ass? Well, I kicked the other guy's ass. He said it was like a business meeting, with Houck saying he probably wouldn't play the next day, so it didn't matter if his knuckles hurt from beating this guy silly. Yeah. And Bauer countering that, well, I'd been in the mood for a fight for a while, and he said, I haven't been in a good fight in a while, Hank.
I deserve it.
He said, so, or Hank Bauer said that to Ralph Houck. Ralph, I haven't been in a good fight in a while. He's like, yeah, but my knuckles, it's okay if my knuckles hurt tomorrow.
Yeah.
Imagine them they're not discussing who's going to fight. It's just who's going to beat the shit out of this guy. Imagine being the guy there while they're having a calm discussion of like, well, I mean, yeah, obviously you're going to hurt him bad, but, I'm going to be this. And I've been wanting to kick a guy's ass. That's a hilarious scene. In the end, it didn't matter. The guy, annoyed by the Yankees flirting, was knocked down 3 times, and the Yankees went to bed. So they beat the shit out of him and went to bed. Didn't matter. Mm-hmm. The second story Billy told was a little more strange here. Several Yankees got into an argument with several bar patrons after one of the Yankees said something to a woman whose boyfriend got pissed off, which has happened all the time. This is common. As the dispute escalates, 4 or 5 bouncers arrive. One of them pulls a gun on the Yankees.
Oh, shit.
Which, yeah, that's crazy. Armed bouncers with guns? Jesus, that's insane. Howe quickly grabbed a whiskey bottle, broke it on the bar, as one does, and put the bottle up to the neck of the bouncer holding the gun, threatening to slit his throat with a broken whiskey bottle. This is great. These guys are hilarious.
Well, a man's got a gun.
Well, a man's got a gun. This is what's going on. And Billy wrote, Ralph said, quote, "I'm not afraid of guns. You put that gun away or I'll cut your goddamn throat." The bouncer said, "Okay." And using him as a hostage, we all walked backward out of the bar with the bottle to his throat. Did you ever see 8 guys get into a cab? Well, we all jumped in one cab and got the hell out of there. That's insane.
They backed a man out like a hostage.
Like a hostage.
Yeah,
with the knife, with the fucking broken bottle. You stay back or I'll cut him. That is fucking insane.
What a scene.
July 12th, 1952. All right, here's another fight we're going to talk about here. There's going to be a lot of fights throughout this. So many. This is the guy named Clint Courtney. And this is from the Spokesman Review newspaper, July 13th, 1952. Headline, Courtney ejected for game brawl. Catcher Clint Courtney of the St. Louis Browns, think about that, they don't exist, was banished from today's game for starting a fight with Billy Martin. It's probably the other way around, but sure.
There was a fight, yeah.
There's a fight. With 2 outs in the 8th inning, Courtney tried to steal second and was out by a wide margin, as Martin apparently made a hard tag on Courtney's face.
Oh,
well, that happens.
Yeah.
The Brownie catcher went after Martin as the Yankee second baseman walked off the field. The 2 players began firing punches at each other. Trying to break up the skirmish, umpire Bill Summers was knocked flat by the players. They knocked a fat umpire down, which is great. Both teams rushed into the melee, and there was a tremendous pileup. Cooler hands finally stopped the slugging, and Summers banished Courtney. He was apparently the one who knocked him down.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking great. Here's a picture of just a huge pileup going on.
What am I looking at?
A pile. There's 2 umpires.
Five just Yankees.
Twisted, and there's Phil Rizzuto watching. Yeah. He's too small. He's like, I'm not getting involved in that. Yeah, this is fucking crazy. Not doing that shit. He's smart. He's going to last a while.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how this goes on. Clint Courtney, by the way, they call him bespectacled. So there you go. A glasses-wearing catcher, which you don't see.
Let us be. Yeah.
Apparently, he'd briefly been a Yankee, and Billy had gotten in a fight with him in the Arizona-Texas League, and had several times this guy slid into Yankees infielders with his spikes aimed high.
Yeah.
So that's why they tagged him in the face.
Sure.
They said Rizzuto had nimbly avoided Courtney once, as had Billy and Gil McDougald, but the Yankees infielders said, fuck this guy. We got to do something.
Yeah.
So this was a Ladies' Day crowd, by the way, at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, my God. Really?
Ladies' Day, 22,327, a lot of ladies there. They were watching. When Billy took the high throw from Berra, he fucking, what he did, he tagged Courtney right in the face with the ball, which is, that hurts when someone hits you in the face with a ball and a glove. So he paused for a second, and then Billy started jogging off the field. Courtney got up and chased him. New York Times wrote, Billy heard Courtney's approach, wheeled quickly to meet it, and on the theory that the best defense is a speedy offense, promptly met Courtney with 2 perfectly aimed right-handers to the jaw.
Nice shot.
Billy will immediately start punching. There's punch first, ask questions later, which is a good way to live. The 32 words in that sentence were more or less describe most of the public and not so public fights Billy would get into for the next 35 years. Some would call this tactic a sucker punch, and it's likely that on more than a few occasions, as hostilities in bar rooms were brewing out of hand, but had not yet reached the flashpoint, Billy would just haul off and clock someone.
Yeah.
Some people argue, shove, threaten, then fight. Billy, especially when he was younger, would occasionally just skip the intermediate steps and proceed right to the punching stage. during a difference of opinion, which no doubt surprised many a combatant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in many cases, Billy saw a genuine, unavoidable threat coming and decided to act first. Yeah, this guy's chasing. He's going to fight him. A fight is happening. There's not going to be any arguing. It's going to fucking happen. Courtney was a worthy opponent, though, and he squared off with Billy as each player threw haymakers and the benches emptied.
Here we go.
Billy and Courtney swung and wrestled, bowling over 2 umpires who tried to stop them. The fight went on for a couple of minutes with dozens of players involved. Pictures of the scuffle appeared in newspapers across the country the next day, and Billy later said, "That's the fight that got me labeled a brawler, and I didn't even start that fight." And Courtney was ejected and fined by the league, while Billy was not ejected or fined.
Really?
So they looked at it the same way. He came up and ran up on somebody, expect a punch in the mouth. Like,
that's what happens.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You had no business running the direction Billy was running. So it's also true that Billy had to be dragged off Courtney, flailing and thrashing like a madman. It is how most of Billy's fights or near fights ended, from Clint Courtney to his dust-up with Reggie Jackson in a Boston dugout 25 years later, which we'll certainly talk about later.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
The final scenes are always the same. Billy, wild-eyed and out of control, trying to get at someone to continue a fight. Most of the rest of the Yankees were holding the most of the rest of the season, the Yankees were holding the American League lead, with Billy contributing in a quieter, less newsworthy way. He was also increasingly ducking the chance to fight. In late August, the New York Post described a batting practice session in Cleveland and said the Indians' bench jockeys were on Martin. "Hit it with your nose, Pinocchio," they shouted.
All right.
How'd that pitch get past your nose? They shouted again. Mm-hmm. Billy the Kid ignored them. So he's figuring it out.
Yeah.
He hit .267 in 109 games in 52, which is the most games he's played, obviously. Yeah. He became the spark plug for this team, Casey Stengel said. He's the energy guy. He's the guy that comes in with the energy. Let's fucking go. Let's do this. Fuck those guys. Yeah. He's that guy. Stengel offered $100 to any player who let himself be hit by a pitch in one game. He said, "This game, anybody gets hit by a pitch, it's $100. Okay. Billy got hit by 3 pitches that game.
He's going to pay his mortgage with this.
Yeah, he's going to fucking, this is great. Can we do this every day? Yeah. Christ, I'll have the best on-base percentage in the league and a paid-off house. This is great. So Billy this year, he hits .267, 3 homers, 33 RBI, 3 stolen bases, 22 walks. So not bad for Billy. He's not great, but he's not terrible. He's more of a less in statistical things than what he brings in intangibles is kind of Billy's importance here. October 3rd, 1952, the Fargo Forum, Daily Republican, and Moorhead Daily News. Apparently they're all one paper here.
I guess.
Wow. 52. He's all square now. Billy Martin finally, quote, works himself up is the headline.
All right.
Okay. Battling Billy Martin had to travel all the way from Oakland, California to Brooklyn to work himself up. But he was the big little man of the Yankees today, and all square with a manager who fined him 2 years ago. 3 years ago, while playing at Oakland under Casey Stengel, the cocky Californian was insulting the man who manages him now and had him batting 9th in the Oakland lineup behind the pitcher. "What's the idea, Case?" the brass aggressive youngster demanded. "You've got me batting with the groundskeeper." "Well, son," Casey told him, "you'll just have to work yourself up." Billy the Kid, who doesn't let his slight stature or expensively rehabilitated nose interfere with baseball heavyweights, Jesus Christ, when they get in the way, worked himself right up to the top yesterday. It was his single in the 5th inning which drove galloping Gil McDougald home with what proved to be the winning run. And his 3-run homer in the 6th inning broke the Dodgers back in cleaning up a 7-1 triumph, which squared the series at 1 game each. So it was a World Series home run. Big deal. Nice. They were sweet hits to the lean-faced second baseman, who may not have all the talent in the world, but makes up for it with his spirited play of old-school caliber. For it was Charlie Dressen, manager of the rival Dodgers, who followed Stengel into Oakland as skipper in 1950 and plastered Martin with a $200 fine. Oh. The story goes that in one game, a pitcher was firing at Martin's head. In a subsequent inning, Martin was on the pivot of a double play, and coming down to second base was the aggravating pitcher. Martin took dead aim and fired the ball right between the pitcher's eyes.
Yeah.
That'll cost you $50, fumed Dressen, irate at losing the double play. He just was mad the double play got broken up. Make it 100, retorted Billy. Okay, 100 it is, he snapped back. Make it 200, Billy said. 200 it is. They're having a Breakfast Club exchange. I got you for the rest of your natural-born life. The fuck are you doing? Is that
more?
enough? No. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
He said, and pay it before tomorrow's ball game. Billy, slow-forming discretion, which has forced him into fistic engagements in the majors with Boston's Jimmie Piersall and Brown's Clint Courtney, finally kept him quiet. But the slender 24-year-old got the last word in spades in that second World Series game. Yeah, I would say. Yeah, he got to tell that manager to stick it up his ass. Mm-hmm. That same day, there's an article, I'm no slugger, says Martin. Won't fill DiMaggio's shoes, but he's got Joe's locker. So they're talking about that. They said that he'll never be able to fill DiMaggio's shoes, but he does use his locker. That's the point of this article, basically. Mm-hmm. He said, I can never hope to fill his shoes. He said, they're much too big. Much too big. They were talking about saying that now that you can hit, they said, should Casey hit you cleanup now? Maybe he should put you in the cleanup spot. So Billy said, as a matter of fact, I did hit once in the fourth spot. I told him he had everybody else in the cleanup spot at one time or another. How about me? Know what he answered? He said, I was his second cleanup man, batting eighth. Cleanup two.
We run 3 in a cleanup and 3 in a cleanup.
That's it. We run this definitely cyclical.
We have two cleanups per lineup.
He said, I'm happy to be playing, though. I'm no home run hitter, and I should be hitting eighth. I was trying for a single when I hit that homer, not to get one in the seats. So he said he only had 4 homers in his first 3 seasons in the majors. He said, I hit a homer in my very first game in the majors, which he didn't.
No, he hit 4 RBIs and a double and a single.
Yeah, maybe his first start, possibly. Yeah. I even remember the pitcher. His name was Sam Zoldak. I didn't hit any homers in 51, and I only hit 3 this season. So, yeah, we're talking about all this. And Casey Stengel said, that boy is a better baseball player than everybody thinks he is. Mm-hmm. He helped us a lot this year. He was the best second baseman in the league the last month of the season. It was his hit in the 11th inning that broke up last Friday's game in Philadelphia to clinch the pennant for us, too. So in the 52 World Series, he had 5 hits and 23 at-bats, but that included that 3-run homer that was a big deal. And, they said that, as a matter of fact, also, in Game 4, with the Dodgers leading the series 2-1 and threatening to tie a 1-run game in the 5th inning, Charlie Dressen, who was coaching third base for the Dodgers, called for the squeeze play. Martin stole the sign.
Oh.
He stole the sign, and the runner was out when they threw a pitch out and killed the rally.
That's great.
So little things are, doesn't matter if you can hit very well if you're smart. In Game 7, with the Yankees up 4-2 in the 7th with 2 outs, and the bases loaded, Jackie Robinson hit a high pop fly into the wind. They said it appeared that Joe Collins, the first baseman, lost the ball in the sun. Martin raced in from second base, catching the ball in fair ground near home plate, only inches off the grass.
Wow.
They said all 3 runners would most likely have scored if the ball dropped, giving the Dodgers the lead going into the 8th inning of the 7th game of the World Series. So it's kind of a big deal, basically. Sure. Yeah. So they said that this was, that was the kind of guy Billy was. Describing after the game, Casey said, my feller at first base is asleep and my feller behind the plate, I don't know what he's doing. I'm watching, but I can't swallow because my heart's in my throat. Yeah, that's fucking insane. So they said Billy's momentum carried him toward the Yankees' third baseline dugout, and still in a full sprint, he tossed the ball behind him onto the diamond without looking back. He just caught it and threw it back like no big deal. No big deal. The inning's over. Let's get in the dugout type of shit. He said, I didn't think it was a big deal until everyone started slapping me on the back. Micky Mantle said it was the greatest clutch catch I'd ever seen. Everyone froze, everyone except Billy. They said, people wondered why I wanted that kid from Berkeley. Casey said, look at that Robinson pop fly. That's why. It isn't even his ball, but that 140-pound fresh kid on second comes tearing after the ball. If that kid doesn't make the catch, we blow the World Series right there. And that's kind of like very much similar to Derek Jeter's play in the in that against Oakland in the playoffs in 2001. That relay throw was way off, and he came from out of fucking nowhere place he should never be, and picked it through with the Posada and got that was crazy. So anyway, November 10th, 1952, back to the horn again. Yeah. His nose. Remember that?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Billy's going to fix that up a little bit here again. Billy, by the way, says that he didn't steal that sign in the newspaper.
Oh, he doesn't want anybody to know?
Later he says he did, but he said, steal Dressen's Dodger signals? Don't be silly. When I was playing for Mr. Dressen with Oakland, I couldn't even remember the signals we used on the Oaks. How could I steal someone else's signals? Like he doesn't fucking know.
Yeah.
That is crazy. So before he went to the majors, they talk about his plastic surgery and the horn and everything like that. He said he likes to have Casey likes to have Billy in the dugout with him. He said, I keep him there because I'm told that out of every season, Billy does at least 2 months of the managing for me.
Oh.
So that's fucking funny. Oh boy, there's an ad right under this. Hey, who's looking for work, everybody?
Oh, so much work.
We got this for you.
What do you got?
Men, this is just for the men. We have immediate openings for men, 21 years of age and over, for the following jobs: drivers, helpers, checkers, packers, stockkeepers, watch and jewelry repair estimator, 5-day, 40-hour week, 20% discount on purchases at Woodward and Lothrop, whatever the fuck that is.
Sounds like a department store.
Now, attention girls. Mm-hmm. Before you take any job, investigate telephone work.
Sure.
Good pay right from the start. Frequent raises. No experience necessary. Friendly people to work with. Folks you'll enjoy knowing. Clean, comfortable surroundings. Vacation with pay. Plenty of opportunities for advancement. A telephone job is an important job. Mm-hmm. It's at the Chesapeake and Potomac Telephone Company. So everybody put your applications in.
Yeah.
December 22nd, 1952. Billy is apparently a father today.
Oh,
yeah. I'll read from this newspaper article. Girls are expensive, Billy Martin, Yankees World Series hero, admitted today. Right up until an 8-pound daughter was born in Herrick Memorial Hospital yesterday, Billy was wagering Mrs. Martin would present him with a son. Okay, he was betting it was a boy.
No.
He is busy and proudly paying off today. The baby's name, well, Billy had a lot of boys' names in mind, but hadn't agreed with Mama Martin on one for his Yankees miss yet. Wow, it's written so weird and hard to read. And by the way, right under that, you can drink beef, everybody.
Ew.
Yeah.
What?
Bovril beef. For red-blooded vitality, and it shows one of these old 50s guys. It looks like a fake meme, but it's real. You've seen this. I've seen this on Facebook before and shit. Guy drinking a cup. It's all hot. Yeah. Every day, drink invigorating Bovril beef. Mm-hmm. Builds your resistance, makes you feel better. Buy a jar at your local grocer's.
Makes you feel better. Better than what? Shit.
No shit. So within a week, Billy was back living at Lois's parents' house.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot of requests for him to go around the country and do a lot of civic functions, athletic things. He's got a lot of opportunity to get a lot of work in the off season. So they said that he would travel up and down the West Coast and go back to the East Coast for dinners and other appearances. He's got newspapers, articles. He's got to, talk to people and do all of that. So, by the way, they named the daughter Kellyanne here. She and Billy were having a hard time by the time the daughter was born. At that point, Billy is going to baseball banquets about 4 nights a week.
Baseball banquets?
Banquets. For you to show up, and it's a big dinner, and you sit on the dais, and they talk, and they give you $50 bucks for showing up. Yeah. That's all it is, $50 and a free meal for showing up. And so this is about, at the end of her pregnancy, he's doing this, and Billy later said, I could see that she hated even to see me. She hated everything about me, Lois did. Billy's sisters had told him that Lois had been hanging around other men while Billy was back in New York. But Billy wrote, looking back, it really didn't matter. We never should have gotten married in the first place. Yeah. So about No shit.
You married her because her best friend got married.
Yeah, and he was, they were with your friend. It was a pain in the... This isn't like, I guess she'll get a new dress, too. It's marriage. It's a lot.
New life, yeah.
It's not even like she's getting out of her house. She's living at home still.
Yeah.
So about 6 weeks after their daughter is born, Billy is very surprised when he's served with divorce papers while taking a nap at Lois's parents' house. So he went back to his house where his parents raised him in. He went, Get an apartment. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're a goddamn New York Yankee, for Christ's sake. Get an apartment. So he went there. Billy stayed in a cramped second-floor bedroom and waited for the season to begin, basically. That's it. Went up into his old bedroom.
All right.
I picture his cleats hanging off the end of the bed, His cousin, Nick, said he was pretty broken up about Lois. It was sad, but anybody would have seen it coming. Billy was running around everywhere, and Lois was alone at home. Billy just didn't see it. Billy liked being married, just didn't know how to be married. To him, the divorce was a failure, and Billy never handled failure well. He wasn't a good loser. No, he's a bad loser, Billy, not good at losing. So here's an article from January of 53. This is right around the divorce paper time here. It says, Billy Martin gave local sportsters a rare treat. On the lighter side of the program, the showstopper of the night came near the close of the evening when Billy Martin, second baseman of the New York Yankees, was called to the platform by the master of ceremonies, Bud Foster. This is one of those banquets.
Yeah.
The uninhibited youth gave the members a rare treat as he took them behind the baseball scenes with several priceless stories about the Yankees. He said 2 years ago when he was sitting on the bench for the Yankees, manager Casey Stengel would ignore him completely. One day, Martin said he was sitting there in the dugout with sulking when Casey came along and said, "It's little Bitsy Billy. Is little Bitsy Billy mad at old Casey Wasey?" Martin said, "How could you remain mad at a guy like that? It's ridiculous." Yeah. Foster asked Martin how he was always getting into fights with other players. Looking down at Ty Cobb, who has complained about modern-day players not showing any spirit, said, quote, "Despite what Mr. Cobb says, there's still a few fellows who play the game for keeps," Billy said. Yeah. He went on to tell the Yankees how the Yankees held a clubhouse meeting and agreed that they had to do something about Clint Courtney, the Browns catcher who was spiking everybody. Martin said, "Well, it just so happened that the next day Courtney came into second base high, and I banged him in the mouth with the ball, and he got a little mad."
Yeah.
Martin, climaxing the evening, wow, that sounds bad,
Yeah,
donned a baseball cap and put a glove on his hand, then reenacted his catch of a fly ball, which saved the final game of the World Series for the Yankees. Martin said, "I don't know what made me go after the ball. I guess God just kept pushing me. I'm just thankful I made the catch." Jesus Christ. Yankees, 1953, 99-52, good for... Yeah, first place in the American League again. Yeah. Good God, it was great to be a Yankee fan back then. Fuck. They end up going to the World Series. It's a 6-game series where they beat the Dodgers eventually.
Yeah.
So they've beaten all the other 2 New York teams in the last 3 years, the Giants and then the Dodgers twice. And the Phillies also is in there as well. So anyway, this here, same, they're kind of building the same roster here. He's now the regular second baseman. His plays in 149 games. His average drops, but he also gets 15 home runs, which is a little high for him. He was ejected for the first 2 times in his career, once for arguing balls and strikes and the other for fighting this year. Mm-hmm. In April of 1953, Billy and Clint Courtney fighting again.
Back at it.
Back at it, man. Yeah, they said, "Wow, what are you doing? Why does this guy want to fight again? I don't get it. Why is Clint Courtney?
That's why.
I guess so. So I guess they said McDougald with none out, hit a double in the Yanks' 10th and held second as Joe Collins purposely passed by. But he had made a mad wild dash for the plate when Reynolds hit an easy double play grounder to pitcher Harry Breachin. Breachin threw to second to force Collins, and the return tag had McDougald by a good 10 feet at home plate. But Gill plunged in with his head down, upsetting catcher Clint Courtney and knocking the ball out of his hand. Mm-hmm. Safe, that means.
Safe, yeah.
Held onto the ball. So the side was retired without further ado, and Courtney, victim of the collision, was first up in the Browns' 10th. The little catcher slammed a hit off the fence in right field. He churned his stumpy legs as he swung around first and bore down on shortstop fielder Rizzuto. Rizzuto had the ball in plenty of time to make the tag, and umpire John Stevens had his hand raised to call him out. But Courtney hit Rizzuto and apparently knocked the ball from his hands as Stevens straightened his arms in the safe signal. That began a wild melee at second base as Billy Martin and Gil McDougald charged Courtney. Rizzuto's a tiny little shit.
Yeah.
He's just tiny.
Evidently.
He's just a very little tiny man.
Yeah.
If you punch him, you're getting punched. So, according to the Browns bench, Martin was the first to reach the catcher with a solid punch to the chin. That's normal. Bob Serve, a reserve Yankee outfielder, had a lot farther to go from the outfield, but again, according to the Browns, he also punched Courtney.
Oh, boy.
Getting it from all sides. In the melee, Stevens suffered a dislocated shoulder, and when the fighters were separated and Courtney walked off the field, minus his cap, glasses, and left shoe, Stevens required help from Browns trainer Bob Bauman. After a conference at second base, the umpires decided that Courtney was out after all, and Yankees players returned to their positions. So they said, you're not safe. You hit the ball out of his glove. You're not allowed to do that.
Okay.
You can plow into him, but you can't actually grab
Smack
the ball.
the ball. Yeah.
Type of shit. So after a conference at second base, that's what happened. But angry fans chased the outfielders with a barrage of pop bottles, beer cans, and seat cushions. Yeah. The game was halted for 17 minutes as Browns manager Marty Marion, that's right, and umpire Bill Summers appealed to the crowd to restore order. When the game finally resumed, Reynolds had no difficulty in retiring the final Browns hitters. Martin said, this is Clint Courtney said, I'm sorry it happened, particularly sorry it was Rizzuto I ran into instead of that Martin. I wanted to knock Billy over, but it was Phil that had the ball.
Yeah.
He said, I didn't mind them having to hold me while some of them hit me. I'm just looking forward to the time they try it one more time. They don't give me no quarter at home plate, and they shouldn't expect any from me on the bases. So I'll do it again, is what this guy says. Now, Casey Stengel of the Yankees said he was willing to bet Rizzuto didn't drop the ball, and saying that the umpire made such confusing gestures that you couldn't tell whether Courtney was out or safe. So, yeah. Billy said also during this time that doctors had discovered he had high blood pressure, and he's also got insomnia.
Oh, no.
And what they call a nervous stomach that made it hard for him to drink comfortably. That's probably also drinking on empty stomach all the time.
Yeah.
That's what does that.
That's probably ulcers, bud.
Yeah. Billy was prescribed sleeping pills, which said made him drowsy during the day, like he'd have a hangover from him. So he'd have to take greenies for the game to be more alert.
Yeah.
That's the amphetamines they used to hand out by the bucketful. So, he had no choice. So the use of amphetamine tablets became very popular after this. It was just huge in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Big shit. Billy took it to an extreme, though. Billy said later on, quote, I was on them almost all season, 2 a day. I took over 300 goofballs.
What are those again?
Speed
those
pills,
greenies?
apparently.
Yeah, goofballs. Yeah.
I always thought it was just a Simpsons joke, but apparently that's what they really called some.
Calling somebody a goofball is telling them they're on drugs?
I guess so. Wow. It all fits together.
Yeah.
Then more pills to get back to sleep, which didn't even work many nights. I'd be walking the floor until daylight. I was a wreck. Everything seemed to be going wrong. Then in 1953, when a Chicago newspaper wrote about the divorce proceedings and reported inaccurately also that Billy was not sending money to Lois and his daughter. The newspaper wrote that mother and child were back in California without food and basic services because of Billy's neglect.
Yeah.
I think that reporter's going to get punched in the face, I would imagine.
Better watch your mouth.
Man, the next day as Billy was coming off the field at Comiskey Park in Chicago, a fan threw a baby bottle on the field and yelled, "Go home and feed your baby, you no-good bum."
Yeah.
And other fans would heckle him for being a deadbeat dad, which he actually wasn't. So that's kind of shitty.
He's a good guy.
At least he's paying his whatever the fuck, paying something. So May 14th, 1953, again, Billy Martin in a dust-up with Larry Doby. of I believe the Indians. I know he first came to the Indians. Larry Doby, the first black player in the American League, by the way.
Oh yeah.
They said Billy Martin got in another wordy dispute, this time with Larry Doby. And Martin said, he came into me with his spikes this high and cut my right pants leg above the knee. So I told him, the next time you do that, I'm going to stick the ball in your ear. Then he started walking toward me, and the umpires broke it up.
In your ear, yeah.
In your ear, yeah.
What did he mean up your ass?
No, they used to say in your ear was a way of, he meant he's going to hit him in the face when he tries to dive. Yeah. But yeah, up your ass would be good. So June 19th, 1953, a big article about how important Billy is to Casey Stengel.
Yeah.
I guess he had hurt himself at some point here, but he said, I can't not have the guy in the lineup. He said, I know he's got a badly hurt hand, but I just can't take him out. He's making the whole thing work. The straw that stirs the drink here, you know? He said that's the bad hand is badly puffed up and causes pain whenever he tries to grip the bat normally. In desperation, he shifted to what he called a golfer's grip on the stick, meaning less like this and more like this.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying with my hand there? More kind of up than over. The results have been truly amazing. He's been hitting the ball solidly, and Stengel claims this hitting has pulled us out of the fire several times recently.
Yeah.
He said that he saved a few games, and there was one game, the score tied 0-0. He smashed his 5th homer of the year deep into the left field seats. And in the 6th inning, that's in the 6th inning. In the 7th, with the score 2-0, he hit a single to right off the pitcher, off Satchel Paige, who was pitching in the majors back then, and put the game on ice. Marty Marion of the Browns said he's a doggone good player. He can hurt you more than anyone else on that club can, which is something because Micky Mantle's hitting fucking 50 homers a year at this point. Here's a thing here. In a July game against the Browns, opposing shortstop Billy Hunter slid into second base safely on a stolen base, eluding Billy's tag. Billy then, from what it looks like, tosses the ball to Whitey Ford on the mound as Hunter was bent over, wiping his dirt off.
Yeah.
But he didn't. It's the old hidden ball trick. He pretended to throw it to Whitey Ford. Whitey Ford pretended to catch it, but nothing was done.
As they do.
Billy's still got it in his glove.
Yeah.
So he kept it in his glove and lingered near second. Whitey Ford turned to look at the next batter. This batter stepped off second base to take his lead, and Billy just reached over and tagged him. Done. That's that. It was a big deal. That summer, Ty Cobb was asked by a San Francisco reporter which current players he liked to watch play. And Ty Cobb said, if I were managing a ball club, I would certainly do everything within my powers to get a player like Billy Martin. Sure, there are better hitters and better fielders, but for fight, spirit, and whatever it takes to win a game, Martin is something special.
Love it.
That's how he is. So here's an article from 1953. Martin can't understand his bad boy of baseball tag.
No?
Doesn't get it. Why me?
He's been in more fights in major leagues than anybody I know of already.
So what? Yeah, no shit. Yeah. He said that he never started a fight, he said.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, sure, I get in fights, but I never start them. He said they gave me a reputation as a fighter, and now every guy and his brother's trying to make me earn it.
Oh.
The other day in Detroit, Matt Batts tagged me at the plate, then banged me on the nose. An old newspaper, sorry, It's hard to read. Banged me on the nose with the ball while I was lying on the ground. What am I supposed to do? Say thank you?
Yes.
I guess this Batts later apologized to Billy for that.
Oh.
Maybe it's because I'm such a skinny little guy, but somebody always wants to take a crack at me. I don't go around looking for fights, but neither do I back away from one. I can take care of myself. When I was a little shaver, I don't know what that is, people kept telling me that if I wanted to succeed, I would have to play hard, aggressive baseball. I've always played hard, and I've always played clean. The other day, I slid hard into Ray Boone trying to break up a double play. You should have seen the stack of letters I received the next day calling me a dirty, rotten player. Every city we go into, the fans holler at me. Doesn't like it. He said they'll yell at me, who are you going to start a fight with today? Or watch out, Martin, here comes Courtney, or Batts, or Pearsall, or whoever. I can't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, on the field, or off the field too, Billy, Mickey, and Whitey Ford are the three musketeers, is what everybody calls them.
All right.
They're always fucking out together doing crazy shit. Whitey Ford said, I don't know why, but Billy always got labeled the instigator, which wasn't true at all. Mickey just had that innocent country boy look, and I was quiet about a lot of these things in public, but Billy didn't care about appearance, and he had that mischievous grin, so people thought he was stirring things up all the time. It really wasn't the case. We got into plenty of trouble without him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that is both Whitey and fucking Micky Mantle, they are very innocent-looking, blonde-haired dudes.
Sure.
That look like, oh, I'm just an all-American country boy. Like, that's what they look like. So I can't possibly be bad. Whereas Billy looks like a swarthy character.
All right.
I think that's part of it. Yeah. Whitey Ford and other people insisted Billy was not a heavy drinker in this period of his life as well. They said, Whitey Ford said, we used to make fun of him for nursing a drink for an hour. I'd catch him dumping scotches we bought for him in potted plants.
Oh, my God.
Wow. I'd say, where's your drink? And he'd say, I drank it. And I'd say, then where's the ice? You drank the ice too?
Right.
What'd you do?
You just had that.
What the fuck? Yeah. He stayed out late with us, but he wasn't the one keeping us out late. But he would always be the one getting blamed for us drinking too much and staying out late. It got to be a joke between us. We'd tease him that he was leading us astray. Mm-hmm. We'd say, we should go home, but let's have another drink because Billy's a bad influence. That was the joke.
Yeah.
Billy would get pissed at us because he knew that's exactly what people were saying. Billy told the New York Times columnist in 1953, I'm no playboy drinker. Sure, I go places. I'm single and I can't sit in a hotel room talking to the floor lamps. Have something to do.
It is boring.
Yeah, he's a young guy. What is he supposed to do? And also, here's an article from 1953 talking about how Billy is the kind of a magnet for hard sliding players.
Mm-hmm.
Players are always giving him the hardest slides, basically.
Sure.
Casey Stengel said he's been getting good. He's been getting it good all around the league. He's been getting it, and there isn't anything he can do but just stand out there and take it. Mm-hmm. What else can he do? He said, Martin said they can slide as hard as they like as long as they slide clean. When they don't slide clean, they'll hear about it from me. Otherwise, they'll get no complaints. Yeah, you slide in with the spikes low, just taking out a guy's legs. That's the game. Mm-hmm. You spike somebody, that's a different story. Then you can hurt him and cut him and all that kind of shit. That's not good. This is from August 7th, 1953. Tigers catcher Honest fined $100 for tiff with Yankees Billy Martin. That's the scrappy Detroit catcher fined $100 for an altercation with Billy Martin of the New York Yankees 2 weeks ago. Thinks the only reason he was fined is because he admitted he was to blame. That's the incident when he hit him on the nose with the ball. Home plate umpire Joe Paparella sent in a good report of the incident to the American League office, Batts said. There was no suggestion of a fine. I know because he told me. I know darn well I would never have been fined if I didn't voluntarily accept the blame. I guess it just doesn't pay to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I guess fucking not. So he said that Stengel said Billy's being hit with the hardest blocks this side of a professional football field. So he said he's getting killed out there.
Yeah.
He finished second among second basemen in fielding percentage in the American League that year, though, so that's pretty good. 53 played in 149 games, 587 at bats. He hit 257 with 15 home runs, 75 RBI, and 6 steals. He was 25th in MVP voting.
Wow.
I think they only go that high, but he was 25th, so not bad. So the 1953 World Series, Martin had 12 hits, tying a World Series record with 23 total bases, breaking Babe Ruth's record. So, I mean, he was killed it, and he was elected most valuable player of the World Series, Billy Martin was. Casey said, look at him. He doesn't look like a great player, but he's a hell of a player. Try and find something he can't do. You can't.
Can't find it.
Can't find it. During this, between the 4th and 5th games of the series, New York newspapers were filled with stories about an 8-year-old boy named Johnny Durkin of the Bronx who had been stricken with polio recently.
Oh, no.
We're still in polio days here.
Yeah.
A playground baseball fixture, Durkin had recently been confined to his bed when he lost the use of his left leg. His father, Lawrence, knowing that Billy was Johnny's favorite player, made a plea to the Yankees for something to cheer up his disconsolate son. Martin posed for a photo, autographing a baseball for Johnny Durkin, then autographed the photo too. Both were sent to the boy at Willard Parker Hospital in the Bronx. His dad said, quote, Johnny completely forgot about the fact that he couldn't move one leg when he saw that picture in the baseball. He couldn't believe Billy Martin would find time during the big World Series to send him a ball and a picture.
What a guy.
So during this Game 6 of this series, Yankees had a 3-1 lead until the 9th when Carl Furillo hit a 2-run home run into the right field stands to tie the game. In the Yankees' half of the 9th inning, Bauer walked and Micky Mantle beat out a weak grounder to third base for a single. So no one out, runners on first and second. Billy walks up toward the plate, and it's getting chilly and all that. And Yogi Berra said nobody ever said anything to Billy in those situations. You wouldn't interrupt him. You didn't have to talk to Billy. He knew what to do. And Hank Bauer said Billy was born for that moment. I wasn't sure he'd get a hit, but I was sure he'd hit it hard somewhere. So Billy took the first pitch for a ball, then fouled off a fastball. Then the pitcher threw a sinker to Billy, he hit it past the pitcher's mound. It bounced once in front of second base and didn't bounce again until the outfield grass. Bauer roared around third base and beat the throw home without a slide. The Yankees were celebrating, obviously.
Yeah.
And Stengel sprinted toward first base where Billy was mobbed. The newsreel of the game showed a smiling Billy hugged by Stengel and Dan Topping in the clubhouse. That's the owner. Yeah. Seemingly every Yankee came out to tussle his hair. Rizzuto came over and, holding Billy's chin in his right hand, kissed Billy on the cheek. Stengel, meanwhile, was holding up his right hand with his fingers and thumbs spread wide. No team has ever won 5 consecutive World Series, and Stengel was making sure everyone could count the 5 extended digits of his hand.
You betcha.
It was the Yankees' 16th championship in the last 30 years. Dressen said, Martin's the best on the club. That's the Dodgers manager.
Yeah.
He just kills you. He said he just fucking kills you. Now, during the series also, Billy had been writing a short diary for United Press International. After the final game, under the byline Billy Martin, the series MVP, began his diary with this sentence: the ball I hit in the 9th inning went out into center field, they tell me, but I always believe it rolled into the promised land.
There it is.
He said, it seems to me as if it was happening to somebody else, not me. It's the way you think about as a kid, but then it's real. And if what I'm saying now isn't making too much sense, you'll have to excuse me. I'm still so excited that I can't keep my thoughts from colliding with one another. All I know is that when I came up to face Clem Labine in the 9th, I thought to myself how nice it would be if I could come through with just one last RBI this year. Billy wrote that he ran to first base, not feeling his feet touch the ground the whole time.
Oh, he floated there the whole way.
Floated to first base. He said that he couldn't help but mildly complain that his one hopper should have been scored a hit because it was scored an error because it went past the pitcher. But he rallied nicely, thanking his teammates, and in farewell he wrote, now I'm just going to go someplace quiet and relax for a long time. Any minute I expect someone to jab me in the ribs and say, hey, Martin, wake up, you're dreaming.
Wake up, buddy.
So Billy did great in the World Series. He's the MVP, and he's been in the league for 3 years, and he's won a World Series every goddamn time. So he's doing phenomenally here. 1953, right after the series, the Dodgers are even praising him.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. They said that one guy said here, Billy Martin, whom the Dodgers grudgingly admitted was the best blankety-blank player on the Yankees, saying sincerely in the dressing room, they don't hate. Billy said, they don't hate me. They can't. No ball player hates another one who hustles. They respect him for it. I respect Clint Courtney, the Browns catcher, because he hustles. So they're talking about all of that and how he's basically untouchable at this point. He's such a good hustler, no one can be mad at him. As part of the winning team, he got his World Series share, which was $8,260.68.
What a deal.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah. Big shit. Oh, my goodness Christ. Billy also accompanied other American leaguers on a 10-day barnstorming tour. When he returned home, they asked him what he was paid for the trip, and he said, about $5,000. He's making big money now. At home, he was given a baby blue 1954 Cadillac convertible by a local car dealer who took a picture of Billy standing next to the car and displayed it in all the Bay Area newspapers. So he did a little commercial, got a free Cadillac out of the deal.
Not bad.
Wow. Less known, except in the neighborhood, was what Billy did with the other car he received in 1953. He got a Pontiac for winning the World Series MVP award. They were the sponsor of it.
Yeah.
He donated that car to Father Dennis Moore at St. Ambrose Church.
Oh, nice.
And he also told his sister, Joni, that he's going to pay for her college tuition now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they're doing. December 30th, 1953, series movies featured by Billy Martin story is the headline here. Wow. Diamond Diggings in Winter Quarters, the Billy Martin story, baseball's answer to the Joe Louis story, was screened for writers yesterday. They made a movie. It's a 6-part thriller with Martin playing the lead.
Really?
Art Gore as the villain, the Brooklyn version, and the other Yankees and Dodgers in bit parts. Gore gets a split decision on his controversial quick call at third base in the first game. The picture indicate he didn't make a quick call, but they also show that he may have made the wrong decision. Okay, they're showing film of the game. Lou Fonseca, producer and narrator of the World Series pictures, expects the 700 prints will be seen by 15 million fans on 75,000 showings. Wow. He left almost 20,000 feet on the cutting room floor, reducing some 23,000 feet to 3,500 for the final version. That's a film. One thing he missed was the gal with the mirror in the right field stands at Ebbets Field. Phil Rizzuto, Yogi Berra, and Tom Gorman attended, no doubt, scouting the Dodgers for next October.
Hell yeah.
Whitey Ford should remember Billy Martin in his will. If Martin's single hadn't won the World Series in the 6th game, they would still be talking about Ford's boner. Who isn't talking about his boner in the 2nd inning? Whitey left third too soon after Yogi Berra's outfield fly flopped back and forth in the baseline and finally was cut down at the plate. He got caught in a rundown there. It didn't seem to matter then for the Yankees, who led 3-0, but it could have meant the ball game. The films show Whitey made it close despite his grotesque baseline dance. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's another thing. Now, he just forgot all about his hardship deferment. Remember that?
Right.
Yeah. He's distracted by a bunch of other shit. The Yankees
doing well?
Doing well, winning, having everyone love you.
Yeah.
The Yankees had a series of exhibition games in Japan, and he took his childhood friend Bill Castell with him. And Castell said, the Japanese people treated Billy like a visiting god. I remember riding in a parade with him, propped up in the back of a big convertible, sipping a drink called a grasshopper. These women, like geisha girls, I guess, kept running up to the car and giving us grasshoppers. Mm-hmm. We sat there waving to the crowd, and every once in a while, Billy would look over at me and say, how about this? Not bad for a couple of nobodies from West Berkeley.
Doing all right.
Doing all right. About this time, according to the Berkeley Gazette story, a local draft board began reviewing Billy's hardship case because an official told the newspaper now he's in the money.
Mm-hmm.
So he should be able to go over there and still have money left over to support people. Asked about it when he got back from Japan, Billy answered, I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't received any notice, but I'm here if they want to come get me. And they did. After months of governmental pushing to reclassify his draft status. So for about a week, Billy went to rest at his mother's house, moving back into his old bedroom. And he was bored, so he called Micky Mantle. And then he called his cousin.
What a fucking sweet afternoon.
Yeah, just call Micky Mantle, see what he's up to. Then he called his cousin Nick. His cousin Nick said, Billy said to me, want to drive to Oklahoma with me? And that's how I went to Micky Mantle's house, a trip I'll never forget. The baby blue Cadillac rolled toward Oklahoma with stops along the way in Reno and Las Vegas, obviously. Mm-hmm. Not long after they crossed the Oklahoma state line from New Mexico, Billy and DeGennaro stopped for gas at a tiny roadside diner. I remember Billy standing there getting gas with a little cigar in his mouth. The kid at the pump goes, you look like Billy Martin. And Billy laughed.
Like him.
Billy laughed and said, I better since I am him.
Thank
fucking hope so.
Yeah.
The kid was excited and got an autograph. We decided to go in the diner for dinner. Well, the kid had apparently run around and told everyone in town that Billy Martin was there, and the diner started to fill up with locals who wanted to meet him. We were sitting at the counter, and people were slapping him on the back and asking him all about the World Series. There was almost a line for autographs, and girls were sitting on his lap and having their pictures taken with him.
Wow.
After a while, a couple of these good old boys at the other end of the counter were getting fed up with all the attention Billy was getting. They started saying things to each other and doing it loud enough for us to hear.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Stuff like, he ain't very big except for those ears. And they were making fun of his clothes and calling him a skinny shit. They were kind of heckling Billy. Another one said something like, some big league brawler, I'm sure I could take him.
Uh-oh.
Billy said, let's get out of here. This is stupid. So they paid their bill, and Billy left a huge tip, as usual, and started for the door, but someone else wanted to talk to Billy. Yeah. He said, we were standing there with our backs to the counter, and there was a mirror on the wall we were facing. One of the guys who had been making comments gets up and starts toward us. I could see him in the mirror. He raised his arm real quick like he was going to grab Billy from behind, and all at once, Billy wheeled around and just decked the guy. He hit him square in the jaw so fast the guy went down in a heap. He's lying on the floor of the diner. He saw him creeping on him.
Yeah.
I'll get you first, motherfucker. Yeah. Everybody kind of froze, and we walked out the door. But some of the male patrons from the diner eventually followed Billy and his cousin. We got in the Cadillac, and they're yelling things at us, standing in the dirt parking lot, but no one is coming near Billy. They're standing back and just yelling. Billy laughed at them. He said, go fuck yourselves, and we all roared off. One of the guys picked up a rock and threw it.
Wow.
Billy turned to me and said, see what I have to put up with? I'll tell you what. I understood his new life a lot better now. Mm-hmm. So he said, we went from one party to another. It was like Mardi Gras. Yeah. He said about the Micky Mantle, said Mickey about the visit. Everybody loved Billy. Even the wife of one of my best friends loved him. That's not good. Mm-hmm. The boys went hunting and fishing, and Billy started buying and borrowing the Western-style clothing everyone else in Oklahoma was wearing. He bought cowboy boots and a hat. He really threw himself into that. He keeps this forever.
Doing a cowboy thing?
He affects a fucking drawl. It's the weirdest shit. It's so strange,
and then
dude.
Does a cowboy thing.
Yes, that's forever. Forever. I think he has horns on his car at one point.
Really?
Like it's wild.
Real
dude.
cowboy shit. Look at this. On a
Crazy
Cadillac.
Shit. Makes no sense. Fucking They said that they hunted during the day, and by mid-afternoon they were drinking. And the cousin said, all I saw of the two of them that winter was their backs going out the door. That's what Marilyn Mantle wrote. Yeah. And that's Mickey's wife. If they did all the hunting and fishing they claimed they were doing, the fish and quail population of Oklahoma and Missouri took a fearful beating. They'd say they were hunting and go out drinking. Yeah. That's all they were doing. Here's a story. Micky Mantle here. So I told Billy I knew a guy who had a big ranch where the hunting was terrific, but we'd have to drive about 3 hours to get there. And everyone would smile. This is Mickey's story that he would tell. He said Mickey would say that to start it out, and everyone would smile, drawn in by the notion that they were going to get an inside look of what it was like to be, one of these guys. So Mickey would continue. So we get to the ranch, and I park my pickup truck, and I said to Billy, let me go inside and say hi to the guy and ask his permission to hunt on his land. It's just a courtesy. Yeah. As Mickey told the story, he talked to the rancher who was happy to have Mickey and Billy hunt on his land, but the rancher asked a favor. One of his aging mules had gone blind and was lame, but the rancher didn't have the heart to shoot him.
Oh.
So the rancher asked Mickey, would you shoot that mule for me before you go out to hunt?
Yeah.
Mickey agreed to put the mule down, but as he walked out the door, it occurred to him that the situation might present another opportunity to pull a prank on his friend. So Mickey, trying not to laugh, stormed out of the rancher's house, and as he approached the truck, he said, that no-good bastard won't let us hunt on his land. We drove all the way down here for nothing. You get where this is going.
You son of a bitch, Mickey.
Mickey reached for his shotgun in the back of the pickup and started marching toward the rancher's barn.
Awesome.
So Mickey tells the rest of the story thusly. I said, come on, we'll show him. Billy grabbed his gun and ran after me. What are you going to do, Mick? When I got to the barn, I said, that bastard. And I aimed my shotgun at the blind mule and pulled the trigger. Bam. And right behind me, I heard two more shots. Bam, bam.
Billy Martin's a fucking menace.
I turned around and Billy had shot two of the rancher's cows.
That's the greatest story of all time. Oh, Mickey's a dummy. He shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have said it.
Billy said, that bastard, how many more should we shoot? Like, no more. Get
in the car. We got to go.
Oh, my God,
that's so funny.
That is absolutely fucking amazing.
That's the best story ever told.
That's the best story.
That's
I don't know
so
how
funny.
I think we should end this show this week with that, because that I don't know how the fuck you get better than that story. How many more should we shoot?
Bang, bang.
Oh, no. That cost him cow money now, too. That's hilarious.
Unbelievable.
But that's what pranks do. That's so much fun.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, man. Billy Martin is a ball, and he's only going to get more fun. Can't wait for more of this here. Thank you so much for checking this out. If you like this show, absolutely get on whatever app you're on and give us 5 stars. It helps a lot. Head to shutupandgivememurder.com, buy your merchandise, get your tickets for live shows for Small Town Murder, including in October 18th in Seattle. And, of course, the virtual live show the Thursday before Halloween, just like a live show, but you can watch from anywhere in the world with Wi-Fi. We're going to be in costumes. We have all the pictures like a regular live show, but you don't have to go anywhere. It's beautiful. So get in there and get that. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Follow us on social media at Crime and Sports. And for sure, get yourself some Patreon. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all the bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above. As soon as you subscribe, you're going to get hundreds of bonus episodes you've never heard before. New ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you, of course, get access to all of it. And in addition to that, you're going to get all the shows, Crime and Sports, Your Stupid Opinions, and Small Town Murder, all ad-free with your Patreon as well. You can't beat it. And you're going to get a shout-out where Jimmy's going to fuck your name all up for you, even though he'd love to get it right. So I think we'll do that now. Jimmy, good God, hit me with the names of the people who would never, ever shoot our cows.
Never.
Hit me with them right fucking now.
This week's executive producers are Gary Howard, Maria Wiedeker.
Good seeing you, Gary.
Wiedeker. I think it's Wiedeker. I don't know. It's a lot of E's.
Gary.
Thank you, Maria.
Gary hooked me up.
And Gary, you're a good dude, Gary. Good to see you.
Thank you, man.
Take care of yourself. Stay out of trouble.
Bro.
Buckle up.
Watch out.
Terry
Keep that truck on the
Depew.
road.
Carol Braun sticking around. Thank you, Carol. You're the best.
Thank you.
Amanda Parma also. I believe we've met her before or heard from her.
Sounds familiar, right?
I don't know. Other producers this week: Elizabeth Vasquez, Elizabeth Rockefeller, Peyton Meadows, Matthew Casey, Jeffrey Adamski. Hey Swab, give me another brewski. Remember that in Captain Ron?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah! I love Captain Ron.
It's the best movie. Well,
it's
not
weirdest movie to have tits ever. You don't expect tits in that movie, and there they are.
Yeah,
it's great.
Bingo, they're there.
As a 12-year-old, I'm like, this has it all.
Yeah. Who else we got? Ryan Bender, Happy Hour, checking in West Memphis, Arkansas. Be careful out there.
Watch out.
It's not a great neighborhood.
Don't get held for multiple murders you didn't commit.
Janice Hill, Nathan Rose, Allison Trauma, Did Owen? That's not it. I fucking... What the hell? Somebody named Owen.
Thank you, Owen.
Mr. Owen, Mrs. Owen, DID Owen. That's not right. I mistyped that. Adam Stockman, Jeremy Muzi, Dr. Zizzle Fraxel, Don's Gold, Michelle Cox, Travis James, Douglas Woodson, Jeremy Ox, Deanna Susie, Chris with no last name, Nama with no last name, Debbie Grimes, Amanda Jenkins, JBY Malang. I don't know. That's it. That's their name. Kitty with no last name, Darcy Hobie, Deneen Milligan. Carrie with no last name, Dakai with no last name, perhaps Dacky, Carla Gregory, Cthulhu, okay. Diana Gruber, Rebecca Ravenwood Becky, Jess Case, Matthew with no last name, Kaylee with no last name, Esther Nascimento Batista, Myron Eyre, Andy Boniface, Bonifacia. That's the one. Patricia Thomas. Patricia. Not Patricia. Who's Patricia ever? Thomas. Sparchy Dogs. Robin Middleton. Gwendolyn Chambers. Red, White, and Brian. Marnie Thorvardson. Tom. Pam Safinsky. Steve with no last name. Gentry Katie. And Jim Bob the cat. Good. Kissy Mama, Justine Field, Landon Shepard, P, the letter P, Deanna Patsoris, Angel Shadoff, Ruby Ray, Savannah Bratcher, Ian Stevenson, Ron DeKing, Is that Rhonda King? What am I trying to? What do you need me to say there? Is that a joke of some sort?
What do you need me to say?
What do you need me to do?
What are you trying to get out of me here? What are you looking for?
What's the trick you're trying to pull? Michelle Maloney, Mike Silver, Anna Marie, Ethan with no last name, Sarah Tomlinson, Crystal Winters, BJ Lowe, also hi, then low, then high. All right. Matthew Williams,
on the sides.
Preston with no last name, Rochelle with no last name, Wanda, Tim K, Blake with no last name, Becky LaGuardia, we got that LaGuardia money, Kimberly Akers.
Fiorella's granddaughter.
Is it?
Yeah,
probably.
Sure.
Robin Smith, Tammy with no last name, Bodie Marshall, Amy Mobley, Melanie Carter, Alex McKinney, Melanie Oliveira, Beverly Beaver. Wow. Amy Van Vliet, Ashes with no last name, Sean Kelly, DJ Max, the brother of TJ, Andrew Ox, I already said that, Christy with no last name, Darcy Smith, Brandon Sandal, Megan Daniel, Sonia Hardcastle, Elaine with no last name, Renee Carter, Steve Funk, Sky Alex Jackson, Kaylee with no last name, Brendan Kelly, Jaden Hitchcock, Jesse George, Anna Fidalgo, Dolores Belts, Jim Delaney, Heather B., Kathy with no last name, Vanessa Johnson, Laura Donna with no last name, Christina Anderson, Sarah Hardacre, Andrew Petty, Jennifer McKay, Jessica Town, Stacy Roberts, Francesca with no last name, Ernie Lozano, Shannon Brown, Tyler Vanderin, Tammy perhaps, Guevara, Corey Donaldson, Stacy Cole, Melissa with no last name, Kaylee Gill, Moose with no last name, Samantha B., Bianca with no last name, Stephanie Candelas, Michelle DeWeese, Caden Stubblefield, Lewis Smith, Randall Ralston, Colton Thompson, Tony L. AOY, L. Conrad, perhaps, Rainey Moochler, Robin, nope, that's Matthew, Focky, Anna Talent perhaps, and all of our patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. A wonderful, fantastic
It's unbelievable.
Fuck, do we appreciate all that you do for us every single week. Thank you for keeping that up, and just thanks for hanging with us. We appreciate everything, especially money, of course, but anything, really. You post that these guys have funny shows. We're over the moon. Thank you so much for doing all that you do for us. You want to follow us on social media? Very easy to do. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Follow the drop-down menus and keep going and get some tickets and hang out with us while you're there. Keep coming back week after week, and especially for week 3 of Billy Martin next week, live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.